Good evening. We are live. Hello.
Everyone.
How are you all doing? So a year after schedule, it's happening. Euros 2020 is happening tonight. My name's Polly James, by the way. I'm going to be like what you'd call, I suppose, we were talking about it earlier, the linchpin to keep this little watch-along happening and running smoothly. I have got a football expert here as well. This is Sim, everyone, from Tottenham TV, who's going to be the guy who can just give us a little bit of insight and knowledge into what's happening with the game tonight. And then right over to my right over here. Yeah, we'll explain why we're running 20 minutes late in just a bit. Jack in the corner over there. Hello, my love.
Professional charlatan, how are you?
Jack is our betting and tipster extraordinaire from freebets.com, who's going to keep you up to date with all the odds, all the pricing, the good, the bad, the ugly of the betting world during the Euros, which everyone is just chomping at the bit at to get involved with because everyone's been deprived over the last 3 years. Can you just give us a little insight into the betting world and the Euros?
I'm going to say, I thought you were asking me about being deprived for 3 years. It's a different story, Polly. Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating one. England is going to be attracting all the patriotic punters, as we like to call it. They've slightly drifted out to 7-1 in the past couple of days. France very strong, 92 favourites. I think France will win it. I think Mbappe will be player of the tournament, and he will win that before going to Real Madrid. But that's a different market altogether. Interesting money for Portugal. They're 8 from 10 in the last few days. It's a big tournament for Bruno Fernandes, who's after his disappointing performance, especially for United in the Europa League final, he's really got to show what he's made of now. This is probably Cristiano Ronaldo's last ever big stage tournament. So yeah, interesting one. Belgium are pretty friendless there at the 6-1. Nibbles for Italy around 8-1 mark. We'll see how they get on tonight. And the less said about Wales's chances, the better.
Oh, come on. If you haven't noticed already, I am Welsh. And also I've got invested interest in the game tonight because of it, being in Group A. I'm showing my knowledge now. No, seriously though, because it's... 2016 was awesome for Wales though, wasn't it? And I think now we're in another tough group. I think that, well, I suppose the favourites who are going to go through in Group A are going to be the two teams that are going to be playing tonight. I hope Wales can squeeze through and produce the magic that they did 5 years ago now.
Gareth Bale can play anything like he's been for Tottenham in the last few weeks of the season, then maybe they got a chance.
Exactly. But I mean, in terms of tonight's game, for Wales's chances, who should we want to win?
Got to cheer the draw on, surely.
For tonight's chances, you probably want Italy to win because I think you want Turkey to get at least as many points as possible because Turkey are kind of the dark horses in this group. They have a few players who've gone under the radar and had very good seasons in European football this season. So I think Wales, if they're the best chance they have, is if Italy completely kills this group, and then maybe they can sneak in second place or get maybe in one of the top 4 third place teams. That's their best chance. I think they want an Italy win.
In horse racing terms, when there's a very, very short favourite, like an Altio running, like the Queen Mother, they talk about trying to race for second. So never mind the winner, just let him win, and then I'm going to try and sneak him in now, second on the line. And that your point there. Let hope Italy really smash Turkey today, and then that sends them in, presumably, a bit of, they've been softened up for Wales on Wednesday when you'll be here for another one of these live streams, Polly.
And the other
You've got to be wearing red that day, come on.
I've actually got my top with me.
Right, okay.
So, but I thought, I'll leave it for when Wales play.
Did request the pink suit,
I know.
by the way.
I got the famous pink suit with me, but it's a little bit too hot in here. The other thing I heard as well, Portugal, who won it back in 2016, they came third in their group, didn't they?
Yep, they did, and they still made it out. So
exactly, they made it out and they won the whole thing.
Exactly, they didn't win a single game in 90 minutes that tournament, not one game. Even the final, they won the game in extra time. So it shows that
gives us hope.
Yeah, it's incredible. All 3 group games they drew. They didn't win a single group game, and then all throughout the whole knockout tournament, they kept just making it through in extra time. So Wales definitely have a chance if they can. Even if they get third place, they still have a chance to make it through.
Perfect. Well, look, go on, Jack.
You're the expert. I've heard from Jake, who's our secondary football expert. Apparently, the man who's leading live for Turkey has been fantastic for Lille all season. I can't pronounce his name. You can do it for me.
Burak Yilmaz.
That's the one.
There you go.
How dangerous is he for Turkey up front?
Extremely dangerous. He's actually 35 years old. He hasn't played outside of Turkey but I think this is the first time this season he's played outside of Turkey. He's been the leading frontman for Lille, who've just won the French league in Liga, and he was their star man. I think he scored, I believe it was 18 league goals and something like 11 assists. He had an absolutely crazy season for Lille, and he was definitely an outside bet if you're going for a top goal scorer bet, Burak Yilmaz. But he's definitely one to watch tonight, and he has an absolutely storming season. And even at the ripe age of 35, he's still doing bits for them.
Doing bits for them. Exactly. I mentioned that. He's around the 7-1 mark to score the first goal tonight. That's generally because Italy's players hog the front of the market. Ciro Immobile, 72 leading scorer. What do you think his chance are? He's been backed for the top goal scorer market. 16 from 20s. Italy said 7-1. The double, I think, pays best part of 33. So if Italy are going to win the tournament, he's going to have to score a lot of goals up front. Absolutely, and he's an absolute poacher in the box. He's a fantastic finisher. He's been the key man for Lazio for the past 3 years now. He's scored, I think, over 20 goals again for Lazio last season, and he was absolutely killing it for Lazio. And I think he's 31, but he's still in the prime of his career. He's been fantastic for in Serie A for many years now. So I think he's also a decent bet. Excellent. That better, Frank? Yeah? That better, Frank? He's sweating over there. God love him. You've not given us your pick for the overall. Anyway, would you be an England fan at 6-1, or is it just a case of people admit it's drawn? Is that we did a preview in the week with our betting experts, Charlie McCann and Graham Bailey. Charlie's adamant. Get the lot on England, saying that they will never have a better chance in terms of the raw talent at Gareth Southgate's disposal on the attacking options. I just, being an English person myself, presume they're going to fall at the final hurdle.
I've heard that they're a young team and very inexperienced.
Who, England? I think they're more experienced than they were 3 years ago, and I agree. This is their best chance to actually go far in the tournament for a very long time. I know they made it to the semis last time out, but they kind of bottled it a bit when the going got tough. We were 1-0 up, and we kind of definitely our performance fell away very, very badly 3 years ago. I think this year, the plethora of attacking options we have, I don't think we've ever had such a variety of attacking options we've got this year. We've got pace, we've got guile, we've got creativity, we've got poachers, we've got the lot this year. So from an attacking standpoint, we're up there with the best. We really are. However, it's going the other way, which is the problem. I think the spine of the team doesn't quite match up. I think to the leading nations like France and Italy and Portugal. I think with Maguire, Stones, and Henderson all having fitness issues, that could be the tipping point between whether we win the tournament and just make a semi-final. And is there almost a problem with Gareth potentially being too cautious now? Definitely. I don't think he's going to start Foden and Grealish together. I think he should, whether he does it behind Kane alongside Mason Mount. I'd love that as an attacking three options behind Kane up front. I just don't see him pulling the trigger. I think he'll stick with Sterling and stick with Radford. He's a very loyal manager, probably to his detriment, and loyalty doesn't do any favours for you in football. No, I completely agree, but I think Southgate, his biggest criticism I would have of him is I don't think he's been able to get the best out of our attacking players as much as he's united the team and united the nation even 3 years ago, I think, with the way we got everyone playing and pulling in the same direction. I still think the attacking talent we have, we should be doing a lot better against the better teams. I always feel like we're kind of whenever we come up against smaller nations, we batter them 3-4, 5-0. But when we come up against anyone of any significance, we never pull out the bag, I think. And I know we never put a really strong attacking performance, and that's my biggest criticism of Southgate. And I hope this tournament will be different. I'm going to say, you go back to the World Cup. Yeah, fair enough. Getting excited by beating Colombia on penalties, beating Sweden, the two decent teams England played against. And they got beat quite soundly. Fair enough, Belgium was a dead rubber, but they should have been in the World Cup final. There's no excuses for that, for disappointing so badly. And I don't know whether it's just a pessimistic approach given the years of heartache. Which is understandable. I wouldn't. I don't know. It's like an emotional hedge. I wouldn't like to. If they won it, I'd be delighted. I wouldn't want to stake money on them. I would. No. And I'd be more inclined. When you think Germany, whether it's again being brought up. Always fear the Germans from a footballing perspective. 9-1, Spain 9-1. Spain haven't been discussed at all this year. How would you rate their chances? They've definitely gone under the radar. They're not as strong as they used to be, that's for sure. They kind of had the likes of Iniesta and Xavi. That's why. Exactly. But we just kicked off between Italy and Turkey now. I don't rate Spain's chances very well. I think they've decreased quite a lot over the past few years. They don't have the talent they used to, and I think their good players right now are players who wouldn't get into the top nations of other teams like Gerard Moreno and people like that who they're relying on. So Yes, Spain have always got good players. Of course, they have good players, but nowhere near as good as they used to be. And I don't think it's as good as some of the other nations, in my opinion.
Guys, let's just turn our attention to why we're here tonight. The watch along. I mean, come on, as a seasoned pro football expert, someone who works in the industry, someone who's been deprived of football for the last 18 months almost, How does this feel to see the Euros kick off and to see fans in the stadium as well?
It's a beautiful sight, I must say. I love an international tournament. There's nothing that gets me going more than an international tournament.
Mancini's good looking.
Yeah. Maybe Mancini as well. But I think it's a festival of football over a month. I can't wait to get stuck into it. Literally a game every day. It's what I live for, these international tournaments. So I'm gutted when it got delayed last year, but I'm so happy that it's finally going ahead. And I think it's important that fans are in the stadiums. I think it creates an extra atmosphere, an extra energy when fans are allowed in the stadium. I think it was definitely something missing. It was very hollow when there weren't any fans in there. So
soulless.
Were you a fan of the crowd noise?
Yeah.
I quite like that.
It.
No, why?
Same with the darts. I couldn't watch. Sorry, Dave Allen, if you're watching up there. You won't be watching anyway.
I love
darts
the crowd noise.
With empty arenas with really weird crowd noise piped in when someone's going for a double. It's just so weird. It's so fake. It's so contrived. And, sport gives you natural emotion that is supposed to be impulsive and spontaneous.
Exactly.
That type of stuff where you're waiting to see what someone's going to happen so you can put a noise. It's like when when team get a corner and there's fake cheering, come on, lads. you wouldn't be like that, especially if it's 2-0 up, but we've got a corner. Come on!
Yeah.
No.
Or they fire off the cheer.
There's a shot there from Immobile.
You've not given a prediction. Can we get a correct score from you today?
I'm going to go for Italy to shade this one. I'm going to go 1-0 Italy with the Italians, with their defensive solidity. I'm going to go for them to shade it.
That's
1-0.
just a cliche, though, isn't it?
Maybe.
The Italians very organised, very
they
efficient, very
But,
safe
they're unbeaten for 3 years, Italy. They haven't lost since 2018.
Who are you going with, Jack?
I think I do, be boring. I do think Italy will win.
Yeah.
I think they'd probably just have too much class. I'd say 2-1. I don't want it to be a boring 1-0 game. Polly, yourself?
Well, I'm going to have to go for Italy because you said that's the best chance for Wales, isn't it?
True.
Right?
That's right. That's what I said.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Italy win...
You're supposed to say Wales are going to smash up all three teams in the group anyway, so it's an issue.
Hey, look, we dare to believe.
Football, yeah.
Let's just talk about the... it being the Euros 2020. They've kept Euros 2020.
Yeah, bizarre in my opinion.
Do you think that is? I kind of like it.
No,
is it because of the branding? From a brand person's point of view?
Everything will have been bought and all. As somebody who's organised darts tournaments before, these things are organised years in advance. They've already got all their boards and the mugs, t-shirts, whatever. It'd cost them too much in terms of merchandise.
So they just keep the same name.
Just keep the same name. I don't know. I kind of like it. There's something about it being this moment in time, and it reflects what's happened the last sort of. I did say 18 months. It's only been 15 months since the pandemic, by the way.
Well, I'm gonna say, today's the first day I've been in England since March, so.
Really?
This feels like an eternity. I live in Gibraltar.
Oh, you live in
Shouldn't you be isolating right now? Are you okay?
Am I right?
I've had two.
Okay, fine.
I've had my 2 jabs. I got a COVID test done yesterday. I've got to do 2 more tests before I leave, and then 1 when I arrive on Tuesday. The things I'm putting myself to be with you fine people today.
We have a lot of Turks in the chat.
Not you, Frank.
I was going to say, guys, if you are watching along with us now, get in touch with us. We're on, obviously, you're watching on YouTube. You can comment there. Are you looking at these ones here? That's where it is.
Okay. Quite a few Turks in the chat, and we welcome everyone.
Quite a few Turks. We welcome every nationality.
Exactly.
If you are Welsh, come and say hi. But yeah, if you've got any questions, if you just want to talk about any football banter, imagine you've just rocked up at the pub and you've come next to us and we're watching the game together. Whatever you want to say. And also follow us as well on Twitter, freebets.com. Freebets, DOTCOM on Twitter. And you can.
Context keen, but that's a
you what?
story.
No context keen.
Okay. And you can tweet us as well. But we'd love to hear from you. You are the 4th person on the panel at the end of the day. So come say hi.
That's Horseman. That's a
Yeah.
different kettle of fish.
And you guys know where to find us. You're on our channel for a reason.
Exactly, yeah.
Go on.
So yeah, any questions you've got, don't ask me about football. Unless it's Wales. No, let's just
What
quickly...
should we ask you about then, Polly? What's your cup of tea?
Anything.
Tell us. People are watching this from WeAreTottenhamTV. They might not have seen you before.
Okay, so I'm a radio...
You are an interesting
looking
creature.
Let me tell you. So I'm a radio DJ.
First.
Right. Then Okay, no, I'm a mum first.
Right, okay.
I'm a mum
Okay.
first.
Oh.
I'm a mum first.
No, we're
Sorry.
talking professions.
What?
We're talking
You
professions.
asked me. Yeah, it is a profession. It's
Okay.
a full-time job. Okay,
Is it?
so yeah,
What's the
mum.
salary? No.
Mum. Oh wow. There's no price. You can't. It's priceless. Okay, radio DJ. Darts interview extraordinaire, would you say? No, absolutely not. No, presenter, host, radio DJ, tie-dye maker. I have a baby brand as well. We won't mention that, but you plugged yours.
Plug
so.
it, absolutely.
Tie-dye maker.
I do make tie-dye. I like tie-dye as well. So that's what
plugs
I'm
are
That's what I'm
being
into. So
I don't know
ask me
what tie-dye
anything about that.
Is that dyeing ties?
You don't know what tie-dye is?
Or is that a tie-dye something separate? It's not like a tie. You're dyeing like ties you wear. I'm 28, 29, sorry.
Yeah, you seriously don't know what the fashion trend of tie-dye is?
I'm not up to date with my fashion.
You know when it's
Have
like
you ever heard of wrestler
all
golf?
different,
I know about
all
Tottenham,
different
that's all I know
colours.
about,
Tottenham,
really.
literally just Tottenham. I know there are very many layers to me.
That would be tie-dye.
You know, like a tie-dye T-shirt and it's all different colours.
okay.
You know, I could do this. I could twist your top up, throw some bleach on it, and
You
you'd
were
have a
giving
nice
him the
like
actions
orange.
that you
Quite
were going to
nice.
twist
Yeah,
his
no,
nipples.
twist your nipple. Hey, look, let's go back to the football. Because I know,
Nah, it's
obviously, no, come on.
People don't want to listen to you
Yeah,
talk
they
about
do.
football, Paul. They want to
Yes,
talk
they
about
do.
you.
I want to talk about Bale with you, obviously.
Yeah, come on, let's talk about Bale.
Well, look, okay, here's the story with Bale at the moment. People think in Wales that he's not up to scratch where he was back in 2016.
Yeah,
The games he's played for Wales recently, I mean, they've been goalless for Bale, essentially, but Tottenham, I mean, gosh, he scored how many, considering the time he spent on the pitch to the ratio that of the goals, it's been phenomenal.
Brilliant, best in the Premier League. He has the best goals to minutes ratio in the
Wow.
Premier League.
Yeah,
so I think
exactly.
when we've had him on the pitch, I think he's been absolutely wouldn't say fantastic, but I think he's been lethal in front of goal.
Yeah.
That's for sure. When we've got him in those attacking areas, he's been absolutely lethal. So I still think it's for sure got the quality. He's still got it. He's still got it within him to make a difference in the final third. What he doesn't have is maybe what he used to have. Maybe back in 2016, that ferocious physicality that he could go for 90 minutes non-stop taking on a fullback. He doesn't quite have that anymore, unfortunately.
Okay.
But so you kind of have to manage him in a game. You kind of have to manage how you use him. You kind of have to manage what kind of areas you get him on the ball, because he's not going to be running up and down the pitch all day long. And that's maybe where Wales have gone wrong in how they've used him, because they're so used to relying on him.
Is he kind of like in everyone's eyes, isn't he? The star player, let's get him on,
They're so used to relying on him. Get the ball to Bale, he'll make something happen.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I
There
think
needs to
at
be
his
some
age,
tactics now, doesn't it?
you need to create space for him now. I think before he could create space for himself, that's not really the Bale we know anymore. You have to kind of maneuver the pitch more so you get Bale in positions where he can make a difference, and that's where I see him struggling a bit. Because I think for Wales anyway, because I feel like. For Wales, you're going to rely on him so much because you're a star player, so you're pinning on him to be so good like he was all those years ago. And I think the opposition teams know how much you rely on him, and what they're going to do is they're going to mark him out in the game. And then when they mark him out in the game, you're not going to have an answer to that. And that's what I worry about for Wales in this tournament.
And I know you mentioned it briefly at the beginning, but I know there's a couple of Welshies that have tuned in now anyway. Hey, guys. Wales' chances within this group, I don't necessarily think, but I know that the favourites are the two teams tonight who are probably going to sneak through, perhaps. What are you thinking?
I think...
That was very Welsh, by the way. What are you thinking? I can't do it.
What are you thinking, Beth? What's occurring in this table? Tell me.
That's
old school Welsh, that is.
Slightly
I mean,
towards the end there.
you did say that we could maybe slip into that second place.
Maybe. I think your most likely avenue is third place, then
Okay.
one of the top four of the third place places, because to get above, you're going to have to beat one of not Italy, one of Turkey or Switzerland. And do I see Wales doing that? I think the other two teams, honestly, I think they're better. Unfortunately, as much as I like Wales, as much as I want them to do well, I think they kind of hit a sweet spot in 2016. The quality of the squad and Bale in his prime. I think right now Ramsey was injury problems. Bale maybe not as good as he was back in 2016. Ashley Williams, they had him in his prime as well. He isn't up to it anymore. I don't see them I honestly think they're going to be fourth, to be honest. That's how I put them. That's
Really?
where my
Oh,
honest
no.
opinion is. I know,
You're not
I'm
gonna get
brutal.
well back, are you?
I'm
Oh my
brutal.
God.
Jesus, what?
It's brutal, but unfortunately,
Oh,
that's how I
no.
see it. I do think Switzerland,
be cruel
Turkey,
to
and
be
Italy
kind.
are stronger at the moment, and that's sad to say.
What do they need to
But
do
they could
then?
pull a surprise.
What do they need to do to go through?
I
Win
think
football matches.
that-
Come
they put the ball
on.
in the back of the net.
It's as simple as that. It's a cliche, but you know, just
They need to basically keep it very, very tight at the back. They need to make sure that they get it to Bale in the right positions,
Pace.
but not just rely on Bale. They need
Pace.
other avenues of attack where if Bale was getting marked out of the game, they can still hurt the opposition. That's where I doubt that they're going to have those other avenues. But they can prove me wrong. I hope they do.
Would you not say there's a lot on young James as well, to the point
Daniel
that
James.
Yeah, I think that he kind of got lost towards the back end of the season at United, but it's a big tournament for him because he's going to be treated so much more higher up the pecking order with his value, but how valuable he is to the side, especially down the flanks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Daniel James has
Good header as well to get him through in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's had a very up and well, I would say a very up and down, more down season for Man United. Not really involved. We know what quality he has. He's got bags of pace. Unfortunately, I don't think he has too much else to his game right now. He's still very raw. He's still got a lot of developing to do, Daniel James. So, as much as I think, oh, here we go,
Cracking
it's
ball,
a
that.
great ball. Here's Yilmaz for Turkey. It's a good cross.
Yeah, so Italy very solid at the back. Completely
Yeah, it's
done
all right.
there.
Yeah, it's done. I'd say Daniel James, I would say he's taking a lot to think he's going to have a serious impact in this tournament. But maybe he could do Bell's running for him. That's all I can think.
yeah.
He's
Tell
what I
it-
hope for.
Tell us about some of your favourite Euros moments.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate
being an England
Mancini,
fan.
man.
Oh,
What a man crush.
Oh my
What a little bit of
God.
Silver Fox rock, you know.
So I was having a bit of a moment with Andrea Bocelli. Really. Anyway.
Italy
What? Come on.
Italy are known for it, aren't they?
Well,
They're the men who age like fine wine.
Yes.
That's what
Italian
Italians are known
old
for.
men.
That's what they're
I
known
mean,
for.
Andrea
I mean,
Pirlo
I would
is
say
still-
Italian 70, 65 to
So
70.
you're trying
Yeah,
you've
that's
got
it.
to think for Silvio Berlusconi.
Oh, dear.
And he
I
would
don't
love
think
you.
so.
Oh, wait, okay, great.
Maybe a little too old now. Yeah, he likes him. Yeah. Different
Yeah,
story.
okay, let's go for it.
Um,
Favourite Euros moments?
Well,
Dentist chair. 2 words. That's it. Dentist chair.
I was a bit young for that, unfortunately. I was only 4 years old when the dentist chair happened.
Just as a kid, you don't know what it is, do you?
No,
You're
go
looking
for
at-
it. Tell me.
So before Euro '96, England, again, Terry Venables' manager wasn't exactly ingratiated with the tabloids who didn't think he was good enough.
Right.
And he took the team away on like a bonding session to Hong Kong,
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
the lad just got absolutely leathered. I never said a bad word there.
Yeah.
Leathered for about a week.
Who now? The English team?
The English
Yeah,
team,
yeah.
and it was Teddy Sheringham and Gaz and McManaman.
Okay,
They
yeah.
would stick a player in a chair, pretending like strapping him into the dentist chair, and pour shots down him.
Yes, I've seen. It was in the tabloids,
And
and
they
I've
got
seen the photos.
absolutely
Yeah.
slaughtered. So,
Jack, I'm talking about on-field moments.
No, but that's
You know?
celebration.
on-field
Oh,
moment.
I'm leading up
okay,
to
fine.
it. God,
Okay,
oh my
sorry,
God.
sorry.
She's a presenter by trade. So anyway, a lot of it. England, Scotland, the old enemy, '96. Gaza flicks the ball over Colin Henry's head, hits it past the keeper. One of the best goals you'll ever see at the Euros. And his first thing, lads, gets on the floor, and he squirted the water bottle into his face.
Oh, lush.
Complete 2 fingers up to the British media. The greatest goal I've ever seen as an England fan. More so than Michael Owen, given the fact it was v Scotland at Wembley, England under pressure. And as a 8-year-old fan,
I was gonna
for
say,
the
when-
Euros, that was just the
Yeah.
height of my England fandom.
And it's back in the day as a kid when you fall in love with football, isn't it? And those
yeah.
moments that you just cherish and where it all began, isn't it?
I remember every game, beat Spain on penalties then in the quarters, beat Holland 4-1. That performance of England beat Holland 4-1, where it was Sheringham and Shearer up front. That is still instilled. Even Darren Anderton was playing with an England shirt. That's how good the team was overall. And Gary Neville was 21, even Beckham pairing up on the flanks. Yeah, Euro '96 for me in that game in particular.
Yeah.
It just can't be beaten.
Sim.
I would say, yeah, for me, Euro 2004 was my first proper Euros I
That
remember
was Rooney's,
following.
right?
And yeah, Rooney
Yeah.
absolutely lighting up that tournament. I'll never forget that. He was absolutely incredible. At 18 years of age, to completely take on every single team that we faced, like they were just like a kids in the park. He was facing them. It was absolutely incredible to watch and a really sight to behold. Watching Rooney completely dominate that tournament until he got that unlucky metatarsal injury back in the quarterfinals, which ruled him out, and obviously England ended up going out. But There was obviously, as a Spurs fan, Ledley King started the first game against France, getting man of the match, might I add. He didn't start another game, unfortunately.
I
remember. Because I'm a Spurs fan. Ledley King got man of the match against France, the game where famously Zidane got 2 goals in the last minute.
And England had battered them before that as well, yeah.
Beckham missed the penalty. England were the better team, but unfortunately Zidane outdid us right at the end. Ridiculous. I just remember Ledley King started that game because I think we had an injury, or Rio Ferdinand was, I can't remember, but Ledley King started, got man of the match. I remember that very clearly. I was very proud as a Tottenham fan. Unfortunately, he didn't get another look in after.
I watched that when we went out to Portugal. I was watching England get battered in a 50-over game against Sri Lanka at Headingley, and so England got say 320. They knocked it off with 8 wickets to spare, to the point where people were just waiting for the game to end so they could turn it over and stick the football on the big screen. It was Jay Saria batting, and I want to say Dilshan for Sri Lanka, and they knocked it off with 10 over to spare. Like, lads, come on, get a wriggle on. There's 20 minutes left in the football. And yeah, it was weird. And as soon as they went off, I think we ended up with Darius Vassell came on for Rooney.
Yeah,
that's quite a downgrade.
But with the least.
But with Rooney, he was 18. I think United signed him pretty much weeks after that. Ferguson said just buy him. It was the composure, the strength, the position he had for such a young guy. And you heard the rumours, when he's 16 years old at Everton when he scored that goal against Arsenal. But it was just how calm he was on the ball and how strong. And these defenders, some of the best in the world, didn't know how to play against him.
That's the thing. He struck so much fear into these big.
It was Owen all over again. Yeah,
it was incredible. They did not know what to do with this guy because he could do everything. He could run in behind. He could shoot from 25 yards. He could pick out a pass from the halfway line. He was masterful that tournament. And
you must have seen the highlight video that's been circling around Twitter the last few weeks
against France, or so when
throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, he was just dynamite.
And you forget how good he was because he lost a bit of shine at United, and he obviously dropped back to play a holding midfield role back at the time, last few years. But people forget in his pomp, and even, I'd call it the balding phase. Is that handball?
No, it doesn't look like it.
Even the balding phase where he was played as an old-fashioned centre-forward then, and he was banging, I think he's got 13 headers in a goal. He was able to almost tweak his game, depending on his diminishing pace and ability.
Oh, here we go. Italy in the box. Insigne with a shot, and it's cold wide. I would say, actually, to be honest, I think he peaked for England anyway. He peaked at Euro 2004. I don't think he ever got as good.
I'd say Owen probably peaked as well in 2000. I'd say 2002. 2001-2 for Liverpool. Yeah. He was ridiculous because he still had his pace. I remember that World Cup, 2001 FA Cup final where he's ran through. I want to say he absolutely ran circles past. Was it Colo Touré playing centre half there? Knocked it round him and ended up winning 2-1 during that period. And I worked at Bear Victor for 5 years, and we dealt with Michael a lot. And he says, I can't say this out loud or in the media because I get slaughtered, but I genuinely think that period of time, I was the best player in the world. And if it wasn't for that, that fluke goal by Ronaldinho in the World Cup 2002, how good a team we had then.
We did. The whole generation completely underachieved.
And Beckham took a lot of the media headlines then, which was perfect for Michael because he was able to go on the radar. He won the penalty against Argentina. He scored the opener, I think, against Brazil. But because Beckham and his metatarsal and the papers are putting out prints of his foot so people could do prayers to him. It was ridiculous.
I remember that. The X-ray on the front of the Sun or something, wasn't it?
And that was the afro with a bit of a red tint to it. Yeah, it was all massive media hoopla. And he was able, someone like Owen was able to go under the radar, but after 2002, people forget him and Rooney linked up so well in 2004. Like I said, if he hadn't broke his foot, which sounds a stupid thing to say, and you'd argue if Beckham hadn't broken his foot into 2002, people forget how good he was in 2001 at United that year, and he single-handedly won the game against Greece to get us through.
Yeah, he took about 30 free kicks that game, but one of them went in the end.
He was running around the pitch like a man possessed, and it was, I think, John Motson goes on BBC, wasn't it? Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Step up, David Beckham. Top bins, easy.
Iconic.
Who's going to be the star player then for England for Euro 2020 in your eyes? If you say, if you've been talking every.
It'll be Phil Foden if he gets a shirt.
Every tournament, there's been that one player, hasn't there, that stood out.
Well,
it's a lot of ball. It's so ballsy for Foden to even bring on Gaza comparisons in the first place. Like as soon as he sets his hair like that. Given the way the media is, given the way social media is, people it was straight away the morning after the picture-in-picture with him. And to do that knowing that you're going to get a lot of comparisons, that's like saying, I'm ready for it. Yeah, it's fine. It's.
He's a confident lad, Phil Foden. We saw that on Iceland, didn't we, how confident he is. But I think with Phil Foden, I think, he's an absolute star in the making. He's had a stellar season for Man City. But I think, as a Spurs fan, can I look further than Harry Kane? I don't really want to. I don't want to look further than Harry Kane because of what a season he's had as well. Top goal scorer, most assists as well.
Pity he's going at the end of the summer, eh?
We'll have to wait and see about that. Someone has to stump up the cash first. All right, Jack. All right.
I don't see anybody negotiating with Daniel Levy.
Maybe Fonseca can convince him to stay. We'll have to wait. Oh, they want a handball there. The referee said no. Immobile's convinced it's a handball. They've got VAR, I think, don't they? So they'll definitely take a look at it, maybe. Is he going to get a word in his ear? Maybe not. But I think another one potentially is Jack Grealish, who's had an unbelievable season for Aston Villa. I think he's such a good player, Jack Grealish. Whenever I see him play, no, it's not handball. He's got his hand well down by his side. So it can't be handball. What's he want here? He wants a penalty for that. What's he want for that? No, it's not handball.
Begging.
No, definitely.
The point you made, Grealish, it's a big tournament for him. Do you not think his off-the-field activities have kind of overshadowed how good he is?
What was it? Breaking lockdown or something, and then crashing his car?
There's been a few of them. I'll say this on record. I was out with all the squad because I worked at uni bit formerly. So 32, we sponsored both sides in the playoff final in 2019.
Got you.
I ended up actually missing I ended up falling asleep on a tube and ended up in Watford that night. It was
classic Jack.
I'm not with uni anymore. Jack. I fell asleep and missed my flight to Gibraltar the morning after. Yeah, and they were all on it, and Grealish was on it till like 8 in the morning, I think, and then carried on for another week. And him and he's had a few off the field excursions in the past 12 months. And he's calm, like Harry. I don't know if you saw the interview Harry came with Gary Neville.
What's a good save from the keeper?
He said, like, I've got 3 kids now. I can't be out doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's different.
Like all the young guys coming through playing PlayStation with each other. I've got kids to.
Yeah, he's a model professional, Harry Kane. But not everyone is like Harry Kane. Other people other people are a bit more
like
character.
Jack
exactly.
Grealish on the team. You need someone with a bit of spice.
And I think he's matured. I think he has matured, to be honest. Oh, is that a goal? Oh no, it's wide.
Also, and I don't want to name drop here, but
Euros bingo, that Italian with his head in his hands in 22
That's what we should have done, bingo. Don't want to name drop here, as I was saying, but Michelle. So she does a lot of stuff for...
Speaking of orange, yeah.
My friend Michelle, she does some stuff for Aston Villa, right? And she's on a number of occasions has interviewed Jack Grealish, has spoken to him on and off camera, and I've said, oh, he's the one who got drunk and crashed his car, blah blah blah, whatever he did. And she said, no, but do you know what? It's really sad because he is a really lovely person. Yeah. He does a load for charity. He does a load for the grassroots. Does a load for kids coming up. And she said he just gets overshadowed, So maybe he isn't that guy who's got that spice and who is the rebel. Maybe he did that one mistake.
Well,
we
all
make mistakes.
Okay, fine. You can be a
hunting him down though, aren't they?
You can be a 24-year-old good-looking boy who likes the privileges of coming with being a professional footballer, as well as be a nice little, like I said, we did a lot of filming with him before, always very good, does loads for the Villa Foundation. He's a local lad, his family are all Villa through and through.
Yeah.
Like I said, just a bit like I've got a few mates at home, a couple of drinks in them, and it turned into a bit of an animal, not an animal, but you know what I mean. I've got Dougie will be watching. Dougie, a Scottish lad back in Gibraltar, he said, I can't go out for just 2, Jeff. I just can't do it, because I won't. If I have 2, it's 12.
Okay.
And you get the impression if Jack's going out for a night, it's a proper session. It is.
And I sometimes forget the media forgets that these guys are
like. Look at you
human.
10 years ago, Paul. What would you be like on there?
2, 12, 24, 36. Then I forget. No, it's true though. But yeah, I always think that about Jack from whatever Michelle says to me, and I think, oh bless him. Whenever he gets a bit of stick from the media, I think, oh, bless him.
You've got a job round here. Go on, son. Play the game. Thank you very much.
Oh, Italy coming forward. This is Barella.
Turkey are really just putting men behind the ball. This is like
it's not been the most open game, to say the least. It's definitely not been the most open game so far.
It's a very cliched, cagey start to a European tournament.
I think the opening games usually are, because people know if you lose your first game, you're in serious trouble, because another loss and you're effectively out. So,
are there any like Euro curses?
Are they
any Euro curses?
Curses?
Yeah. You know, like, oh, you should never win your first game by a load because then literally you will always never get through the group or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a Euro curse, but they say in a penalty shootout, they're always the team who misses first goes on to win the shootout.
Okay, I love these type of things.
So
yeah. Oh, okay. So I'll remember that.
So if if Wales in a shootout and you miss first, don't panic.
Okay, you're going through. Okay, fine. I like that one. I like that one. Yeah.
I've got someone looking at the comments. Somebody's asking me saying they want their thoughts on Ferran Torres as an outside alternative to be the
Golden Boot.
Top goal
Ferran Torres. I mean,
he's been. Do you know, in one of our other previews, he was tipped up as the young player of the tournament.
He's a great talent, Ferran Torres, and he's actually when he's taken the pitch, especially in European football, the pitch.
Thank you.
In European football, he's been quite lethal for Man City, but to say he's going to be one of the top goal scorers, I mean, you never know. They do have a decent group, so if, he does have a chance, I guess. But I wouldn't put money on him for sure.
You really don't think Spain are
I don't fancy
anything
him.
to be worried about this
year? I
year,
don't fancy him. I think they've been declining for a long time. Maybe they're going to start improving this season because last couple tournaments they've been nowhere.
And it is kind of generational. You think of the German team from the middle of the noughties. Thank you, Frank. Spain then took over the mantle. Things do come in like mini stages. Another team that hasn't been mentioned, it seems to be dwindling. Holland. Any thoughts on the Netherlands?
You say they're dwindling. I actually think they're kind of having a bit of a resurgence now.
I watched Turkey smash them. I think one of the last friendlies. And I just couldn't believe how poor they were at the back.
They are. Well, without Van Dijk, they're not as good. And obviously relying on Daley Blind, who's not the most natural centre-backs. But I actually think they've got some good talent. I think Wijnaldum, who's had a great season for Liverpool, and he's been really strong a couple of years.
Now absolutely set for life, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He's probably earning £400 a week. Yeah, he's probably earning a lot of money now. But he's an very underrated player. I would say Donny Milan, who's plays for PSV, he's a young striker who could have a big impact in this tournament as well. So I think they've got some good talent. People might be underestimating Holland, in my opinion. Although Donny van den Beek's ruled out, which is a shame for them.
But do not say attacks win games, defences win championships.
Yeah, but tournaments are different. Tournaments are different to championships. You can win a tournament with a shoddy defence because it's only a short amount of games. It's not necessarily you need to have a good amount of games. It's not necessarily you need a good amount of games defence over a long space of time, like a league season, where you can have a certain amount of 1-0s and whatnot. Yeah. In tournament football, you can have kind of a short burst of attacking football, and then it can garner you a few wins that can win you the tournament.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who is the one team in the Euros or in Europe that you do not bet against? You know, like they always used to,
Germany.
I knew Germany because like in darts, you sometimes you just don't. Well, I'm maybe not nowadays, but you don't bet against MVG, do you? You know. But you'd say Germany is the MVG of football.
Yeah, look, the Germans.
You probably say Italy. Like Italy, when they come forward, like here, you just. I don't know if this game's being brought up, but Italy are always really, really. I don't know, dangerous. I think is the word for them. Again, you mentioned that game 2 from 2004 where Zidane just found 2 goals from nowhere, and France. Sorry, ignore me. Yeah, I'm thinking, but historically, Italy have always had ways of finding ways to win games.
Yeah, I remember there's tournaments where people have completely written off Italy and they've gone and either got to the final. Exactly, Italy's or they've gone far. Like they're always a tricky. You got £1 to put on to win the.
What did he say, Jack?
Speak more about the game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're back up, I think. I think we're back up. Yeah.
It's such a lot of these Turkish names sound like they could be Welsh towns. It's and I wouldn't want to try and pronounce either.
Can you put the tracker on, please? Yeah. So look, half an hour gone in this game. It's still 0-0. Not being the most entertaining games with loads of chances, but it's. I think it's Turkey is showing why I think a lot of people had them as dark horses because they're a solid team and they got talent as well in the front line if you give them a chance. I think the way they're performing against this Italian side shows then they're not to be trifled with. I think.
That's a great phrase, that. Not to be trifled with. I like that.
I'm putting out the big guns.
I think Turkey is going to try and get men behind the ball, repel them. Is it the internet in here?
It's gone down again. Is it, Jake? No, it's just my computer. Don't worry, we're still up.
We're still back on.
They're going to try and men behind the ball and then seemingly just try and get them on the counter attack.
Yeah, that's what it seems. That's what it seems. So, here go Italy in the box here. Insigne.
Why didn't you? He should have pulled the trigger.
Insigne is such a good player. Corner. Is this the first corner of the game? Don't think there's been many corners. Never been many corners, have there?
And the thing is as well, from a bookmaker's perspective, that type of request to bet is always so popular, and it's never obliges. Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of
you know what I did once. I once was putting a bet on. It was an Arsenal game. Arsenal playing West Brom, and I put a bet on over 4 or more yellow cards. And 1 sec, sorry, it's a corner. They're going to swing it in. We've crossed it into the back post. It's punched by the keeper. Good punch. I put on a bet 5 yellow cards. And while I'm watching the game, there's I think there's four yellow cards happen during the game. And the final whistle's fast approaching, and the goalkeeper Petr Cech, he's remonstrating with the referee and about something, and the referee blows the final whistle, and after the final whistle he books Petr Cech. So I'm start celebrating. I thought it's 5 yellow cards, 5 yellow cards. I can't believe I just won the bet after the final whistle. Unbelievable news. It's a header from Immobile. It's just wide. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy I won whatever. I can't remember how much I won. I was over the moon. And then I go to the bookmakers after the game. I was like, here's my bet. 5 yellow cards. Pay me. They're like, no. It's a losing bet. I was like, what do you mean? There were 5 yellow cards. He was like, yeah, but it was after the final whistle. The bet has to be in 90 minutes. I was like, you're joking. No. You're joking. I was like, come on.
Inside the parameters of the game. Check your rules.
I was gutted. But I still got a -1 in fantasy for it.
And that's why bookmakers do make money on these bets, because people will try to almost bet for excitement. Especially in a game like this. You want, it's a Friday night, you're going to want to see a few bookings, a couple of corners, give me goals. Mm-hmm. So, for example, into the games of the weekend, a lot of people put England to win in both teams to score.
Yeah.
2 or more corners each half, 1 or more 2 or more bookings each team. It's
Turkey yet to have a shot in this game, though.
I was about to say, it looks like Italy have got most possession, they've had the most chances. Even though you're saying it's a good turn up for Turkey.
I think that defensively, if you think about where the chances have been for Italy, all outside the box pretty much. I think last few minutes they started to get in the box a bit, so I think maybe they're starting to turn the screw. But I think by and large, I think Turkey have kept them at bay, and I know they've had 9 attempts to Turkey's 0, but it doesn't seem just yet that the goal is imminent.
It looks so humid there. The lads are sweating buckets.
Yeah.
That's also a thing. And I think that, there you go.
Not you, Frank, don't worry. You are a bit shiny, darling. It's okay. No more so than usual. I'm all right.
And there's a big talk about the Italian goalkeeper, where he's going to go, because he's on a free transfer now. He's just left AC Milan on a free. Is that what they're saying? What's the betting saying?
There's no market on it. Because
no market on Donnarumma.
So we did a piece with Graham in the week saying that how Nuno was supposed to be a certainty to go to Palace, which obviously
didn't quite come off in the end.
The interesting one's the next Everton manager, and they had Charlie kind of dispelled a lot of those at the head of the market. Eddie Howe, I think Rafa Benitez was third favourite. He said, how can Rafa Benitez be third favourite for the Everton job?
Oh, Turkey are in here. He's parried it away from Donnarumma. Yilmaz, I thought, was in there. They had a 3-on-1 if they played the right ball, Turkey, and unfortunately Donnarumma just palmed it away. So that was a close one, close call for Italy. And that shows they just need one chance, and that's better than anything Italy have created. That one moment.
Yeah, Italy are creating lots of half chances.
Yeah. But if he plays the right ball, then Italy, Turkey are in on goal. But Italy haven't kind of had that opportunity yet.
Yeah, they look pretty scary when they're down that end, don't they?
Exactly.
Is your prediction still standing?
I still think Italy will nick it. Because if they do get a goal, they'll keep it tight. Yeah. I can't see Turkey just being able to turn it on like a flip of a switch. But here come Italy now. Immobile in the box. It's away.
Is that how you pronounce his name?
Immobile.
Right. Okay.
Immobile.
Or not immobile.
Immobile.
Or immobile.
Immobile is a running gag, and it's like, I think I heard it at a few. I think it might be Paul Merson saying it, thinking he was hilarious. That Theo Immobile, yeah, we get it. It's funny.
I mean, look, we're all watching this game now, but what are the other team like? What are Switzerland and Wales doing right now? Are they watching this? Are they?
Yeah, they'll be watching it. They'll be watching it. I think they'll be looking at how both these teams are playing and thinking about ways. Obviously, they'll have their mind set on their game tomorrow, first and foremost. But they'll definitely be taking notes about what's going on in this game for sure. I think, especially the first game in the Euros, they'll probably be having dinner and watching this game. I think.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Here's Chiellini though for Italy around the box again. And it's a shot straight at the keeper from Insigne. He is dangerous from 25 yards. If you let him do that again, don't be surprised if it ends in the back of the net. Don't be surprised if it ends in the back of the net if Turkey let him do that again.
And he just have a look.
See, he knows how dangerous he is. He knows how dangerous.
In terms of like the opening round of matches, is there anything you're looking forward to which might be a little bit more exciting than this?
In terms of the opening round of matches, I think England-Croatia could be a good one. I'm trying to remember what the opening round of matches are. What are the opening round of matches? I can't remember.
Well, tomorrow you got Wales-Switzerland.
That should be a good one because both teams have to win that. They know that's the best opportunity to make out of this group. Both of them have to win that game, so that could be a good game.
Denmark-Finland and Belgium-Russia to finish it off.
Yeah, Denmark-Finland. I think Denmark should win that with ease. Belgium-Russia. I don't think that'll be a particularly interesting game. I think Belgium
seem a big. I mean, for me, without knowing how good Russia are, if I'm being completely honest, but the fact that Belgium are, say, 5-6, near enough even money, I'd have presumed they would be a lot shorter, more.
Yeah, they kind of declined a bit. I think that is short, to be fair, because I think they're bigger favourites than that. But I think in general, as a team, they're not maybe as strong as they were a couple of years ago.
Defensively, it's a very aging centre-half pairing.
But against Russia, you should definitely back them because Lukaku was more than likely to get a goal in that game.
And that's what, reading a few of the pieces, Lukaku could easily get 3 or 4 in the group stage, which would set him up then to be the top goal scorer of the tournament.
Yeah.
How important is Lukaku going to be? Do you think this would be him sticking himself in the shop window for a return back to Chelsea? Apparently, he's Roman Abramovich's favourite player, which I find very hard to believe.
Well, I think Lukaku he's openly stated already that he's staying at Inter Milan this summer. We know Inter Milan are in big financial trouble, so whether that changes, I reckon it could easily change if a big offer comes in. But I don't think he'll need a good Euros to convince anyone. I think the season he's had will be proof enough that he's a top striker, and he's definitely proved any doubters that he wasn't good enough to play at the top level because winning the league with Inter Milan the way he did and the amount of goals he did and how good he was throughout the season was proof enough, I think, that he is right now he's one of the top forwards in Europe. Absolutely.
He'd be a great replacement for Harry Kane, I suppose.
I mean, it'd be fantastic, but I don't think he'll come to us. It's another shot from 25 yards and it's over the bar again. It's time from Berardi.
Keeper's not had to work, though, really.
Sassuolo's Berardi. Just thought I'd add that.
And for these, I mean, a lot of these Turkish players, you presume, again, to use that phrase, being in the shop window, this is a great opportunity to get a big money deal. You think of players that, like I was speaking to Charlie, who does a lot of our previews, big Evertonian. He said Yannick Bolasie had, I think, 2 good seasons at Crystal Palace. Got a deal to Everton on 85 grand a week, and that's him done. That's set for life. Yeah, and he was awful. Poor
guy. He got a big injury.
In terms financially, I mean, financially,
yeah.
All you need is one good move and one good transfer,
and that's it.
You look at someone like Wijnaldum. What you say he's going to earn 20 million a year.
I mean, he's probably already on like 60, 70. So
and now he's set. Yeah, if you get on that certain ascent up, it's there is such a pot of gold waiting in the Premier League.
And I think that's what also is a subset of what goes on within the international tournaments. Because how many players have you seen get a big move off the back of an international tournament and they turn up for their club and they're nowhere near as good?
I always think of Karol Poborski being the obvious one for Euro 96. He had that great summer with the big flowing hair for Czech Republic. Scored the opener in the final. And obviously went to United and wasn't.
We signed Sergei Rebrov, I think, off the back of a tournament, and he was absolutely
Ukrainian,
dreadful.
Yeah.
He was dreadful.
He was great on Football Manager. He was one of those different players of a different class.
Christopher's tweeted and
watching, is he?
And maybe he's summed up the game so far. He says,
"Jack, shut up."
No, not impressed by Italy. Quite predictable. Turkey are fun though when they get the ball, that is.
Yeah,
and it is true, actually, isn't it?
No, it's not a good ball. I agree.
I mean, when Turkey get it in their half, you kind of kind of gets the fire burning a little bit, doesn't it?
Because they're
a little bit. You're kind of a bit like, oh,
they're
what are they going to
attacking
do?
with pace, which is the key to unlock most of these teams at such a high level. It's just a case of getting the ball in the first place. And Italy is just trying to play very clever, safety-first, almost football.
Yeah, I think Italy are dominating the game without really threatening. Turkey, I think, are comfortable.
It's a good ball.
But you do need to have that threat on the counter. And apart from one moment, I think, they haven't really had that. So I think they'll look to improve that in the second half for sure.
Who should we look towards Italy potentially bringing on second half?
Andrea Bellotti, the striker, he plays for Torino. Really good tall striker who's good in the air, good pace as well. He's definitely one who could come on and change the game for them for sure. Here's Chiellini. Who's this? Spinoza. On the left-hand side in the box.
He's fishing for a foul.
Yeah, that's the word. Italy are very good at that as well.
It's a show.
If you remember, I have to hit the referee.
Advantage.
I remember in 2006 World Cup, I remember they were struggling big time against, I think it was Australia. And I think Fabio Grosso took a massive dive in the 90th minute and they just tried to go over the line.
Again, another one. Terrific wing-back. I'm thinking,
Fabio Grosso,
I'm thinking my university years were spent pretty much exclusively playing Football Manager. So
I know what you mean.
Anyone, it's a great back heel. Anyone from that era, I'll
you remember
all over them. Yeah, Juventus.
Vincenzo Iaquinta.
Winger Iaquinta, yeah.
That's got to be a foul, is it? Referee says no.
It's just obstruction. Oh, he did not up it. Yeah, it was one of those, the type of game where I literally would have to break the disc in half. When it came to like April, May exams times, it's just one more match. It's just such a cliche, but it's so true.
And tell you then 3 hours later, one more match.
I feel like the referee hasn't awarded or penalised when he should have at all.
No, I think he's been good.
Really?
I like it. I like this kind of refereeing. But Immobile's in the box and it's straight at the keeper again. Haven't really made him make a mysterious save.
Yeah, he's just sort of letting the game just flow
I
and go.
think so.
Okay,
I think
I
get
like
up.
that,
Yeah, come on. What are
Yeah,
you going
go
to ground
for
for? I like it. I think the referees are too whistle happy nowadays.
Mine's been tarnished then, hasn't it?
I think they're too whistle happy.
Come on, whistle up. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we've been blinded in this country because of VAR, not just in this country, but in football in general, because of VAR and all these things where is Turkey in the box here? Another good shot. Oh, is that a penalty?
That's a dive.
Oh, is that a dive or a penalty?
Has to be a dive. Book him.
There we go. He's again saying, get up. I like it. I like this referee.
But the thing is, if he doesn't give a penalty, then
he knows it's a dive. Yilmaz knows it's a dive. He winked him. Yeah, it's a he did get a bit of contact.
He pushed him off on the way
He
down.
gets a bit of contact, but I don't
awful.
think it's a penalty. I think there's a good call by the ref. I think we're conditioned to think any contact is a foul.
I got a
Italy attacky. 100%.
I got a concussion playing rugby last Saturday, and I watch these people going down like that. It is disgraceful.
In rugby, they do as well.
No, I'm saying that there.
Oh, sorry. Right. No, right. Here we say.
It's one of them where I had the physio come. You're right. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, right. It's different. Dreamland. Footballers, I think, because they're trained to do that. Any sort of contact.
Do you think that's now becoming ingrained in the game at such a level?
I don't think now. I think it's been going for the last decade now. It's been a long time coming. This. So I think.
He's in.
Oh, Italy again are in here.
Handball.
Oh, I want a handball again. Referee says no again.
He doesn't know it. Just wags his finger.
They still got it. Oh, Insigne. Though they're still calling for
this
the
ref
Italians.
has really missed football, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's like,
clearly.
you guys just
He
play.
is not taking anything from these Italians.
What
happened
to that style of creative forward Italy used to produce?
Well,
very workmanlike nowadays.
Well,
it's
like
true,
Zola.
I think. Well, they had I think they're referring to people. That's a great ball. Oh, he couldn't get a purchase on it.
That's Ranton.
I think they've got some good technicians. I think Insigne's a good winger. I think that he's referring to the likes of Totti and Del Piero. They used to have. They don't have those kind of players anymore. Oh, he did have his hand up, and I've seen penalties given for that, but it's very close to his body. I do think they may be missing a bit of creativity. Maybe Verratti's not in the team as well, who plays for PSG. He's a very creative player, so they're missing someone like that. But I still think they've got a lot of... they're checking it. Referee's holding play up. No, he says play on.
He's like...
Play on. So, yeah, I think he's got a point. Maybe they don't really have that player used to play in the hole for Italy anymore. But they've still got a lot of quality technicians in the forward area for me.
You mentioned about them players we've got to watch out for. How pivotal an impact player is going to be, especially in the latter stage of the tournament in terms of remonstrating with the referee. I don't know what that's going to achieve, but Crack on, lads.
There we go. Here's 0-0.
And the referee again. We'll carry on the theme with Roberto Mancini.
Nah, it's not a handball. I mean, it's so close to him. That's the thing. We've been like brainwashed into thinking all these things are handball. Where 5 or 10 years ago we wouldn't even think twice about these things.
You just be like, yeah,
not a handball, and that's it. Move on.
You know that Turkey are just going to pinch this at the end 1-0.
Well, you know what? The way the things is going, the way this game is going, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised because they're defending well, and they had that one moment, as I said, which is better than anything Italy have created, in my opinion. So,
and I know you said about the curses before. Not many, obviously, that penalty one, but someone's just said here it's almost tradition that an opening game to an international tournament is pretty boring, maybe in some respects.
True. I do remember at the World Cup in 2006. Germany and Costa Rica played out an absolute brilliant game. I remember that. That's a rarity. Absolutely. Usually it is kind of...
Turkey only 33% possession, so yeah, it is clearly their modus operandi to try to...
Yeah, and how many shots they had? Probably one shot, maybe, not even?
No shots on target, no corners, so it's, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, we can, one sec. We can look at the stats on screen.
It says Fabregas getting all the stars in.
Let's just get that on so we can see it. Okay, one sec.
Hello to Women's Football World. Hello to James Caps. Hello to Andy Divers. If you want to say hi, obviously you're watching on YouTube, just comment in the little box to the side, the chat box. If there's anything you want to say to us, anything you want to ask?
I think more importantly, this kind of tournament signals a kind of return to normality. We've got Royal Ascot. I don't know how big a racing fan you are.
Not
much.
Massive.
Well, Royal Ascot is next week. Wimbledon starts in 2 weeks. We'll actually have the World Match Play darts back at Blackpool next month with crowds for the first time in a couple of years. It's just nice to have a good mixture of sport. Again, I'll be hopefully going to a bit of cricket this summer. India are over for a 5-match series against England. It's been a terrible year, hasn't it? Let's have it right.
Oh, God,
well, in general, not in life.
In general. Life,
life
at home. Yeah. And it's just nice to have something. Sport with crowds. I just couldn't get into sport with piped in crowd noise.
I understand that. It definitely took something massive away from the sport, and it was just
and as a Spurs fan who just unveiled this brand new stadium as well, it was
watching it. Yeah, I know. Watching the players celebrate with no fans, it definitely was frustrating, and it definitely missed a massive element into what sport can bring.
Yeah,
and not just having fans in the stadium, but the whole day out, going to the pub before the game, meeting your being your friends and having a chat and going for a beer or a burger or whatever it was. All of that taken away, stripped from the game, and I think it definitely missed it massively.
I mean, it filled the void for a little bit, though, didn't it? I mean, it must have done.
Yeah, I guess it's a distraction. It is a distraction, but I felt like the whole talk around football just became a bit more toxic when there's no fans in the stadium. To kind of, because then everyone's basing it on what they saw on TV, and everyone's kind of seeing the same thing. And sometimes you can see something different when you're in the stadium than when you're watching on TV, I feel. It's
hard to see anything different about the stats from the first half game. Just loving look. 2 corners, 3 corners to Italy, none. In terms of shots on target, it's a bit of a poor show so far. 3-0.
14 shots for Italy, but only 3 on target. Yeah. And look at that. How many shots were inside the box? 8 of them, but a lot of them blocked.
How do you interpret Italy coming out for the second half?
I think...
What do they need to change to break the deadlock?
I don't think they'll be too unhappy.
Okay, so just keep banging the door down, you'll open it eventually.
I think they'll think in their mind, we can get like one of those on the margin penalty decisions. We might get one of them. We might swing one in, bro. We're down.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are. Oh. I can see we are. See that the stats are still... I know, we're back. All right. Sorry about that, guys.
Just get the picture off me. We don't need that. But just in terms of the composition of the tournament, the fact you can get through to the ladder stage, you could finish 3rd in the group and win the tournament.
That's the weird thing. As we said before, Portugal did that last time.
No, I like that.
Why?
I like that because it starts it all over again in the next.
No,
I don't know.
No, you finish top 2 and you go through. That's how it used to be. No need
the
to
old days of
change with the rules.
old days of the European Cup. Yeah, you win the league.
You finish top 2, and then how many teams can get that 3rd place?
4 of 6.
Okay. That's quite a lot, actually. I think they should have just like that one extra.
They should have playoffs between 3rd and 4th. I don't mind that.
Oh, yeah, not mine.
Polly's angling for a job. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
What would you be playing if you want to get the boys G'd up at halftime, Polly? What would be on your playlist?
Like a good terrace anthem.
No, you wouldn't be playing like.
Oh, I'm a big metalhead, so it would be like the it would be the era. No. I'm gonna say that's a little bit classic metal, which I absolutely love, but I'm gonna go with something from the new metal era, from say 98 to 2001.
Right.
That era, and I just have a big. In fact, the I miss. Okay, so I'm gonna go.
People are watching this knowing you're 40. Give us a bit of your.
Limp Bizkit.
Right.
We'll go for Korn. We'll go for Papa Roach.
Okay.
Let's go for 1996, and we'll go for Rage Against the Machine. And I'd stick with those, I think.
And you'd want to come on, lads, now. Let's get pumped up. Let's get ready.
Yeah.
Second half.
In fact, you know what? Drowning Pool, Bodies, actually, that is a great song. In fact, that is the song that I think anyway, that the US Navy SEALs played for the.
What song is that?
Body. Let the bodies hit the floor.
That was the old.
That was the song that the Navy SEALs all listened to before they went in and killed Osama bin Laden.
That was the ECW theme tune back in the day. Yeah.
I think for me, rock and roll style. I think just bang that on, and they'll get G'd up. Oasis.
I love Oasis. I just think I'm with you, Polly. I think they need something a bit. Stronger.
They need something a little. They need something a little bit sweary and aggressive, like the hairdryer treatment in Song.
And I imagine Mancini being the type to give him a bit of a slap. Not in a. Don't worry, no one's going to get sued. But he seems the type that's going to start shouting at players at halftime. He doesn't strike me as calm, cool, and collected.
Who, man? I think all Italians.
It's Italians.
They all.
Sarri.
Conte's a different kettle of fish. Conte definitely.
Pretty the cat.
Yeah. he would be kicking the players' heads probably at halftime, knowing Conte. But Mancini does seem to me like he's pretty cool, calm, and collected.
Do you think we'll see him back in the Premier League anytime soon?
I think he's doing such a great job as Italy manager. I think he's got a couple of years left at the moment, unless it really goes to shit this tournament for them. I think he'll be there for a couple of years. So I don't think he'll be back in the Premier League anytime soon. I think after that he'll probably go back to Serie A, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's that type. He had a great run with Man City, but I don't think he'll be back in the Premier League yet.
He was kind of hard done by, wasn't he?
He was
very
won the
abruptly kicked out. As was Mark Hughes, who we replaced. So it was, what goes around comes around.
They still regale those stories of Mark Hughes, how harshly treated he was at Man City in the Wales quarters.
Sorry.
Of course, yeah.
Do they regale of the harsh treatment of Mark Hughes as Man City manager? A Welsh legend. How can they kick him out?
No, absolutely.
Sparky.
Sorry, I'm just reading through Twitter at the moment.
And
I think
anything interesting?
Well, I think basically people are saying that the refs. Cool as.
I like this ref.
And Turkey's defence.
How many compliments to Simo's calves? Come on.
Sorry. No, none, actually.
Get him out.
Turkey's defence, though, the first half is also getting a lot of crushing, to be fair.
Yeah, they've been brilliant. I think Sionchu as well has been absolutely fantastic so far.
Yeah, so I mean, if you could sum up the story of the first half in one sentence, what would it be?
Knife edge.
Sorry? What did you say?
One word, knife edge.
Oh, knife edge. Oh, one word. Okay, yeah, one word or one sentence I gave you. What would you do?
I'd go full Eric Morecambe. Rubbish!
Oh, no, yeah. Straight down the camera. Rubbish.
One for the dads out there. That's too young for this.
Definitely too young.
70s humour, yeah. Rubbish! No, it's just been a bit too cautious. Yeah. I want teams to go a bit more hell for leather, and
both teams have been a bit too cautious. I would say.
And they've kind of negated each other out here. You want something more of a spectacle. Again, I've kind of lived on Championship football, being a Huddersfield fan for the best part of a decade, where it is kind of just all guns blazing. Let's just not worry about defensive records or.
Is that because we've had this time off, though? Do you think people are just a little bit cautious, players?
Don't want to ruin it, do you? Don't want to go home early.
I think the first game always is a bit cautious because 2 losses in a row and you're out. So.
Who's that one team then that's going to come out all guns blazing then?
France.
No, I don't think it'll be France. Well,
I think France because they've got. It's easy when you have Kante there to just sit and kind of do a lot of the legwork. And
I think it might be something like Portugal. Because I think I think Portugal have the attacking talent. They're not quite kind of the favourites, even though they got expectation. And I think people might, even though people know how good they are, people still might underestimate them. They might want to maybe lay down a marker.
You say that, but in terms of betting, Portugal are still the 5th favourites.
5th? Who's above them?
France, England, Belgium, Italy.
I rate Portugal ahead of Italy and ahead of Belgium. And maybe ahead of England.
France, I was speaking with a couple of lads in the week doing another few previews. Should France not be shorter, given their pedigree?
How short are they now?
They're 9-2.
They should be shorter. Yeah,
I think they should. I expect them to be around 3-1.
Yeah, I think that's good value.
It's a bit. I get a bit of a Spain vibe from them. When you have won a tournament in the first place, there's so much pressure taken off you. You know, France have already won the World Cup. They've got players who have won big trophies domestically. They're playing there with no fear. They've got no apprehensions. Given the fact that a week ago England and France were the same price, and I wouldn't have touched
England. Week ago England and France were the same price.
Both 5-1 joint favourites. Yeah.
No way. That's incredible.
Remember,
that is incredible.
Domestic
England. That's like.
You got to remember, domestic bookmakers. You generally set your price based on your liabilities. So many people are going to get bought into the hype and the hoopla and back England because I don't know how many memes I've seen or how many frays I've seen of it's coming home in the past week, which is a little bit cringe. And then you see, if you 20 quid on you win £100 if it when England win, you know, right? We've got to have 20 quid on that, and then tell a mate, and then they all want to get involved in it. And yeah, France aren't as seemingly attractive.
I think, yeah. Go on.
I was going to say, is it going to be a bad night for the betting world if this ends in 0-0?
It'd be a great night for the betting world.
Okay.
Bookmakers. Terrible day for punters because bookmakers clean up.
Absolutely.
To be honest, tonight we'll have very insignificant. When England play, that's when every casual punter comes out and has a few bob on. You know, your tenner on Harry Kane at 5-2 to score the first goal. Tenner on England to win and both teams score at 11-4. That's your type of bets on Sunday. These things.
That's a solid bet, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I've talked myself into saying it's the immediate 2 types of bet you pluck out. But for Italy-Turkey on a Friday night, I don't think people will watch it out of a bit of interest and speculation.
Yeah.
But as a betting proposition, it's not going to be. The serious punters will get stuck into, say, Belgium tomorrow night at 10-11 against Russia.
And as you said at the very beginning, people don't care at the moment. It's kind of just, as you said, delayed gratification for a lot of people, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
No, but as I said, like people are gagging to just stick a quid on, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Because they haven't done it for a while.
But that's the thing. They won't want or need to bet on it. They're just happy to have football back.
Yeah.
And the problem is because there hasn't been that much form to base their opinions on, you can't have you can't have an overly strong opinion because there's not a lot to go on.
Yeah.
It's like betting on. It's Royal Ascot next week. You'll be betting on 2-year-olds, which are young baby, teenager horses, if you're putting it in human terms, and you'll get some shock results because there's not enough information to base your prices or base your opinions on.
Not enough evidence. That's a phrase we don't want to leave in. Well, we want to leave that.
It's like seeing a band. It's like judging a band based on their first 2 songs and going absolutely rubbish. There'll be nothing.
Yeah.
And then
there's been 2 subs. Turkey bring on Cengiz Ünder, those Leicester winger. He's tricky. He can be quite good on the breakaway. And looks like Di Lorenzo's come on for Italy.
Awful lot of sleeves in this Italian team.
Sleeves?
Sleeves.
What do you mean?
Sleeves.
The tap sleeves.
All right.
You don't notice?
Right. Those
I wasn't trying to be clever. This starts coming on. I
was like, they have long sleeves, do they? I don't see any long sleeves. Yeah, there are. I think it's commonplace in football now. A lot of footballers have sleeves.
There are a lot of people also saying, just before we kick off the second half, that there should have been 2 penalties.
No.
They don't know football. These are modern football fans.
This is a clear penalty for Italy that the referee missed. I mean, there's a lot of people praising the ref, and there's a lot of people saying that.
You call this, in my industry, you call it pocket talk. People are talking through their pockets, which means they've either backed Italy, or they've backed goals, or they've backed for a penalty, or he's in their fantasy football team. and I demand 3 points.
These are modern football fans who don't know the essence of what the game is. They just think, oh, the arm is this away from the body, so it must be a penalty. No, there ain't a penalty. Okay, get over yourselves.
You as a football fan, I mean, do you see different fans come out obviously for the big international tournaments?
There's a lot more casual fans who come out
like
for
me.
the tournament. Exactly. There we go. Proof in the pudding.
Okay. But I mean, I think Wales is different though as well, because I think Welsh people just generally get behind. Oh, there we go. Welsh people generally just get behind anyone doing well who is Welsh, whether like Gerwyn Price in the darts. A lot of people hadn't watched darts. Gerwyn Price in the darts. A lot of people didn't know darts, didn't like darts or anything.
From the valleys.
But to know that he was in a final in the World Championships, it was we'll back him. And I think that's the same with this Welsh team as well.
He's not Gary Anderson though, is he? Let's be honest.
Well, they're given offside. You can't be offside from a corner.
You can be if you give it back to him. Play 1-2 and give it back.
Oh, did they do that?
I think so.
Well, that was stupid then, wasn't it?
This ref,
You'll be one of those fans now.
That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, no. He didn't play it back to him. It can't be offside. What are they talking about? No, that was a ridiculous decision. I don't know what that referee's on about there.
He's going to be giving offside.
That was horrific. No, he's giving it.
I was going to say he's going to be offside from a throw-in next.
Oh, yeah, that was absolutely horrendous.
Where's the ref from?
Dreamland. I was on the wrist.
Good looking again. Another one. Good looking boy. Appreciate the.
I like the slick Mick look.
I was on the
short back and solid for those living in Gibraltar. Yeah.
How these two Italian centre backs are still going at probably ages of like 35, 36. Bonucci and Chiellini, unbelievable for their ages. Yeah.
I was going to say, when are we? What's your choice of food for watching the Euros?
It's got to be a pizza, doesn't it, from Domino's?
It's got to be a pizza from Domino's with specific toppings.
That's what the halftime ads keep telling me.
Dear Lord, Domino's pizza. Of all the pizza
with the cookies. You got to get cookies.
Oh yeah, get the cookies and the wedges.
Yeah. Let's try it.
There's a place in Gibraltar.
We're getting food.
Pizzeria Plaza. Amazing.
The new offensive Italy is boring as beep.
Offensive or
offensive?
Oh right, okay. I thought you said that their
football,
as in their football insults me. Yeah. It's a tricky one because then if you've watched Italy for any period of time, you know what you're going to get. Oh, that's a foul.
Is that a foul.
That's a great foul as well.
It is a good foul. Oh, he's given it. No, he hasn't. He hasn't given it. I don't think he's given it. No.
I mean, fouls don't exist in this game, do they? I mean.
Oh, that was a foul.
That's a great. I mean, it was a great foul as well because he knew exactly what he was doing.
He rolled on the floor about 10 times. Bloody hell. But yeah,
that's like one of the tackles you see at my five-a-side game. We go, yeah, I know you threw on goal, but you're going to score, so I've got to take you out there. But yeah, like you said, as a fullback, when you've seen what the referee has been allowing play to flow so often, you're going to put them in and chance your arm.
Always
no. This is going to be 0-0,
It looks like it, the way things are going. But you never know. Turkey could nick one. If they're Turkey nick one, then it really becomes interesting.
So how does it change in your mind now if Turkey win this?
If Turkey win this, that's bad for me. It's bad news for Wales.
Yeah.
Because if you look at this Turkey team, do you really see if they win this game, they're going to be difficult to beat for Wales and Switzerland if Italy can't beat them. So I think it's bad news for Wales if Turkey win this game.
And just in terms of a betting proposition, bookmakers really don't think Turkey have got any chance at all. Turkey up to 12-1 from 7-2. The draws into 2-1. Italy is still 2s on, 1-2 to win this game in the 90 minutes.
How about put a few quid on Turkey, Why not?
Really?
They might
I'm thinking the draw's a great price at 2-1.
2-1.
I wouldn't be. Oh. I think you'd be a very brave man backing Italy at 1-2. Obviously, they're going to win the game 1-0 in the 87th minute. But still, from a value persuasion, these are the type of bets that you're going to go skint on. Please gamble responsibly.
Yes.
I think Turkey can't underestimate them. I think they look dangerous when they go forward. It's not bad. It's 12-1.
Are they your actual
12-1?
Dark horse of the whole tournament?
Not the whole tournament.
No,
I don't think I'll go. I actually backed Sweden to go further than them.
They're my team in the offer sweepstake.
My office sweepstake. Not office, but I've got a sweepstake.
Is this in the Radio X?
This is the Radio X.
Who got England?
Who got England? Oh, Izzy Panias, who does early breakfast on Radio X. And Chris Moyle's got France. Chris Moyle's got France.
Wait,
and Johnny Vaughan got Portugal.
So the top brass got the good one.
I see how it works.
Polly Sweden.
Sounds like it was rigged.
I think it was all. I think it was all done legitimately.
Wait, what time are you on radio? Because I listen to Radio X quite often.
Saturday and Sunday, 1 until 4.
That's
in
why
the day.
I haven't,
football.
I
I
never listen to Radio X on Saturday and Sunday. Literally every other day I listen.
Great. I mean,
so that's why
I'm on tomorrow during the Wales game as well. So, yes.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, go on.
I told you. What's going on here?
Should have took the 12s.
Yeah, should have. Here's Under on the breakaway for Turkey. Deflection. And it's a save. Good chance.
So you don't get excited like that when Italy get the ball, do you?
No, you don't. Because
again, which is such a good sign for England. Pace is going to kill teams, especially at the counter-attack, especially when you get leggy defenders last half hour. Say, if, hypothetically, Southgate does start with Sterling and Rashford on the flanks. He can't, but I think he will.
You think he will?
I think he seems to be so loyal to Sterling. I think he's had a very poor second half of the season.
You can't start two players out of form.
I think he starts
so many good players who are in form.
I think he starts one.
He might. So bloody hell! The keeper's headed out. That's good keeping.
Even say he does start. Say he starts Grealish and Sterling. There's still Rashford and Foden to come off the bench for half an hour, and Sancho.
Because so much talent there.
Calvert-Lewin, if Kane gets leggy, Bellingham
I don't think
Saka.
I don't think he can start both Sterling and Rashford. And despite their pace and how much quality they have, they're both just too much in form. They're out of form. Sorry, you got to play. Oh, here we go. Italy are in here. Berardi, he slipped.
You said.
It's an own goal. There you go. 1-0 Italy.
Never mind the 12s. I'll offer you 22s now.
There we go. It's an own goal from Demiral, the Juventus centre-back. That's a shame for him. He's a good centre-back. But Berardi
and he'll be getting some stick from his teammates when he
goes
back.
It looks like he's put it in his own net. Ball across the face of goal by Berardi, Dominic Berardi, the Sassuolo winger. And is he onside? He is well onside.
The way he drops the shoulder, he completely does
he
it.
just slipped here.
Oh,
man, that's an own goal. There's only so much you can do with that at that kind of height. And it's in the back of his own net.
Polly, you should be cheering. It's good for Wales.
It's good for Wales.
No, I mean, how does that turn now the game for...
That's 1-0 game.
No, but I mean,
Italy sit back and win.
That's the ultimate, isn't it? In a player's game to score an own goal, like the worst. Now, how does that for the whole mentality for the team? How does that shift now for them?
Especially when you're a team like Turkey, you've been defending so resolutely throughout the game. It definitely is demoralising when one of your players puts it through their own net. There's one thing, a bit of quality beating you, but when you're putting it through your own net like that, that's when you get a bit.
Were they too ferocious? Were they too fiery?
No, I don't think so. I just think a bit of quality from Italy, and they'll be so disappointed with how it's gone in. I think so, but I think Italy, they'll feel like they've deserved it. They feel like they deserved that goal. They've put in so much pressure on Italy, on Turkey, that the pressure was going to tell at one point, and there you go. It's 1-0. But now Turkey have to come out a bit. They have to start thinking how they're going to attack Italy if they're going to get anything out of this game. But Italy could easily get a second here. Oh, it's a good save from the keeper.
There we go.
And Immobile with an overhead kick, but it's over just wide.
In cricket terms, they've got their tails up now.
They do, definitely.
And this is where they could be dangerous.
Could Turkey be dangerous? Or could they have just been, as you said, totally demoralised? It's the ultimate moment, isn't it, for a player? Do they pick themselves back? I mean, these are professionals, the best in the world. They need to pick themselves back up, haven't they?
I mean, that could be them.
The problem is when you're not creating any chances, it's hard to pick yourselves back up. Because then you have to find something from somewhere when you haven't been able to create anything beforehand.
See, that's unfortunate. Turkey have been so solid defensively, such a pity. Yeah, it sucks. Hopefully the game will open up now.
That's what I'm hoping for. Maybe we'll see some goals now.
Yeah.
Well, here come Turkey.
I know Italy need to win for Wales, but I kind of
Yeah, you can't not root for the underdog.
I feel like Turkey are the rebels here, and I just want them to, and I want them to turn the table on that own goal as well.
Absolutely.
And
I'm just too nice. I'm too nice.
I think as a Wales fan, you're very used to rooting for the underdog, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. No, this is it. You know, we dare to believe for that underdog, and I think
And just looking further to that game against Turkey on Wednesday, Wales are a sea of blue on Oddschecker, which translation to non-betting fans is that Wales are being very well backed to beat Turkey on Wednesday now. People have obviously watched this game.
Right, okay.
They've thought that there's not a lot to worry about. Wales have been backed into 9-4. Turkey's still the 13-10 favourites. They draw 2-1, but Wales...
That's good value.
Wales have been cut by 16 of 18 bookmakers in the last 2 hours.
Wow. Who's favourites tomorrow for Wales and Switzerland?
I reckon Switzerland would be favourites, wouldn't they? Oh, but here comes Turkey. They're in on goal. Oh, no, they're not. He's been forced too far wide. And looking for a handball.
Switzerland 11-10 favourites tomorrow. Wales 3-1 the draw, 2-1. So
and that
Wales,
hasn't changed, is it?
That's not changed. Switzerland are in very good form. You know, I think you've mentioned the term dark horses a lot. The Swiss, I mean, they have gone under the radar.
They have.
Have they got any chance of
the tournament?
Not back to the tournament, but qualifying from the group.
Yeah, I think they do. That's
much more achievable.
I think the Swiss are always a good team. But here come Italy
again.
Insigne, it's over the bar deflection, I think.
I think
just
that's
needed
4
that own
times.
goal, and now this game is
exactly.
alive.
4 times, a little step over, shift onto the right, and he tries to curl it each time.
That's what he's good at. That's
right?
his forte.
That's what he's good at.
That's Insigne's forte.
It's a great first ball.
He cuts inside and he curls into the far corner. That's why every time he'll look for that. Every time he'll look for that because he's a master of it.
It's a bit like when Iron Robin was in his pomp.
Exactly.
And he plays down the right hand side. You know he's going to cut inside and stick it on his left, but you can't defend against him.
And that's when Insigne is. He's not quite Iron Robin, but he's that kind of player.
Is there something as well when someone has an own goal, like Italy now, will just want to try that even bit harder just to get a goal that they have scored themselves and have deserved.
Well, the thing is, Italy, because the space in theory should open up for them, so it could actually become easier now for Italy to create more chances and get that second goal that I think their attacking play they'll feel as they've deserved because they've created a lot of possession, a lot of dominance, and despite not creating many chances, I think they've looked dangerous in a few moments.
Yeah.
So, here come Italy again. It's tipped around the post. I think Barella with that shot.
They look a bit more frightening now, Italy, I've got to say, in literally the last 5 minutes.
It can definitely change the momentum when you get a goal, 100%, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing that all of a sudden, the keeper, instead of it being straight at him, it's he's being forced to tip it wide and things like that. So wouldn't be surprised if they get a second goal here.
Jacket's off, he means business now. So a lot of sleeves.
Yeah,
a lot of sleeves.
They're going to try that other than that second corner routine. No, they're not.
Not after being offside last time. Not going to risk it.
I
mean, just in terms of, you mentioned momentum there, how important...
is that? They're giving a penalty?
Push? No.
How important
is it for teams to, when they get into positions like this, to really go for... put the foot down and try and get a couple.
As a Spurs fan, the amount of 1-0 leads we've given up this season, I can tell you how important it is when you get that 1-0 lead, not to rest on your laurels. Because I think Spurs lost, 12 points throughout the season from 1-0 leads.
Whereas it seemed like United would win so many games from going behind early.
Exactly. So the momentum is so crucial in the game of football. Like, you can be playing so well for an hour, but one moment and momentum can shift and you can lose the game in the last half an hour. It happens many
straight
times.
Back to him.
Or Berardi's shot across the face of goal.
Flag.
Yeah, it's a poor one.
I love this. The ugly truth of football, the randomness and chaos. What an unfortunate way to give up a goal.
It is.
Is he looking for a job as a writer? Who's that?
Victor.
Hats off to you, Victor.
She is Victor.
Not Victor Chandler, is it? Odds against the Eastern. But yeah, it's true.
Ooh.
I mean, it was out of nothing.
Yeah, it was.
Italy lurking their way through the Euros all the way to the top. No.
You never know.
I think it's going to be naughty.
Italy are the type of team that will progress without much fanfare and just grind away and get results.
Yeah.
Again, the likes of Belgium are quite flashy. France, they'll get a lot of headlines. I don't rate Holland at all. I know you said they might be potentially. I don't think Spain are good enough. I think it will come to the likes of England and France. And I just worry about England. It just almost seems too good to be true.
That's the thing with England. Whenever they give you hope, they let you down. That's the thing.
Sounds like life, doesn't it? It really does.
And let's be honest, England have had better teams and been let down before.
The golden generation.
Absolutely.
I've got a very important question.
Ooh.
Does pineapple go on pizza?
No, what pizza do you want, though?
And pineapple doesn't go on pizza, by the way.
No, it doesn't. No, absolutely not. Shocking.
What's your question?
What pizza do you want?
Oh, is that the actual question? Onion, sweet corn, peppers. That's what
I'm a chicken and sweet corn girl.
Chicken and sweet corn.
Yeah.
I don't mind chicken and sweet
Jack,
corn.
go on.
I'm a meat feast kind of guy.
There we go. We got a nice variety.
Are we getting a pizza?
Yeah, they just asked me what pizza do you want. That was a legitimate question.
Who's there?
Frankie.
Is Jake a ventriloquist now?
I was getting worried you were just teasing me.
Oh, no, I'm definitely not teasing
Got an Argentina fan
But you've
in the
got it all
office.
there.
Absolute shambles.
I think we've got the orders in.
Bodega Bay, whatever that sponsor's called.
And you want your cookies as well, obviously.
Oh, yeah, all my cookies. 100%.
And now you see a little bit of flair coming out, a bit more confidence, a bit more
you do.
visage.
Yeah.
Oh,
as you say, Italy are getting a bit more flashy.
We had two predictions here, I think 1-0 and 2-1, and
2-1. Well, I'd say 2-0 at this rate. I
was going to say it's somewhere in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah,
now?
That's what usually happens when me and Ben, we usually predict the scores. He's always in the middle. But Jorginho, who's been one of those underrated players who always is such a cultured passer, but Chelsea fans don't seem to rate him for some reason.
What makes a passer cultured? Is it his choice of wine? Literature?
It's the weight of pass.
All right, okay.
The weight of pass you play to a man with appreciation for where he is, where the ball needs to go, and how you play it.
Is that the difference between, say, a Keane and a Scholes?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
A little bit of deftness. That's a good ball.
Oh, Di Lorenzo, it's out of play.
Are these Turkey players looking a little bit jaded, or is that just me?
They are.
Or have Italy just got a lot more pep in the step?
I tell you something. One sec. His Insigne has a
what
good
a ball
ball.
that is. He's onside, surely.
No, he's off.
Italy playing with.
I tell you something. It's very. It's one thing defending like Turkey defending when it's 0-0, but defending like that when it's 1-0 is a lot more difficult because you know that you're losing.
Yeah.
So to defend as ferociously when compared to when you have something to hold on to, compared to when you know that the position that you're in, you don't really want to be in because you need to have the ball to get it up the pitch, is very different mentally. And that's why you see when a lot of the times when the games like this, when it's kind of on a knife edge, when one goal goes in, it very usually is followed by 2 or 3.
But that's the same in most sports. Like I'm a big golf fan, a big darts fan. If somebody in darts is say 2-3 legs behind, they start trying too hard, or if in golf if you're 2 shots behind, you start what they call flag hunting rather than put it like 15 feet by trying to make a birdie. Try and aim for it. You're going to force yourself into a mistake. You presume that's what could happen here with Turkey, and that's it. One more goal, they know it's game over. Exactly. So it's such a fine balance to try to try and go for an equaliser without being up at the back.
Because it's difficult to be backs against the wall when you're already losing.
When you're already
exactly,
against the wall,
it's already against the wall. That's the difficult thing, and to keep your concentration when you know you've got a kind of, in a way, you're in your head, you've got other priorities. How are we going to get a goal? How are we going to get back in the game? Before it's like, okay, I just need to get it away, and then my job is done. Yeah. But now it's not because you're losing, so your job isn't done by just getting the ball away.
I kind of feel like they're like Turkey are just defending and not playing. Do you know what I mean?
That's the problem. That's the problem when you set up like this and then you go 1-0 back down. You can't just flick it in a switch.
Yeah,
you need to be having that threat throughout the game.
Yeah.
And they haven't really, Turkey, and that's maybe they're going to be their downfall in this one.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Still 25 minutes to go, just over.
What? So if Italy get another goal, you think that's game over?
Oh,
you said that, Jack. Yeah.
For sure.
If they get 2, I think they'll get 3.
Yeah.
So early on, anyway. I said Turkey have tried to get on the counter a few times without looking overly threatening.
Correct. They had that one moment in the first half for me, which was probably their best moment of the game, and then they didn't find the right pass, and unfortunately, sometimes that's all you get in a game.
What presence does that set then if they do go 2-0 up and they win
Italy, I think strong, because I think this Turkey team, I think they've shown even in this game, even though they're losing and haven't created much, they've shown that they're tough to play against.
Yeah.
So I think it shows that they're going to be a strong contender if they get a second goal for sure. For me, Italy.
Interesting. Bad tactics from Turkey playing scared now. Would you
problem.
agree?
Yeah, a little
bit. It does look like, doesn't it? You said they've sort of...
It's not even fear. It's I don't think they really know how to react. Like Simo said there, just in terms of they don't know whether do we go for it or do we... Because they've had such little possession anyway, the first half it was 32%. It's not like they've been able to do what Italy have done and sit with the ball and just take their time and have a bit of patience. And you can see now they're chasing shadows. They're going to get more leg gears. The second half progresses.
At the moment, they're kind of relying on Italy to drop back a bit. And if Italy don't drop back, then they're going to be. Then it's going to be a bad night for Turkey, I think, because I think that's what they're relying on at the moment. That's what they need. Because at the moment, Italy are pressing so far forward that but Italy are leaving holes, but they haven't had any joy on the breakaway. And with players getting more and more tired, it's less likely they will.
Are they playing like a team who have...
Oh, Italy are in here.
Poor ball in.
It's saved by the keeper, and it's goal. It's goal. 2-0 Immobile. Ciro Immobile. There we go.
And that's a lot of players with...
and in my sweepstake, I've got Italy and Immobile top goal scorer.
Oh, nice. Well done. Yes.
If they're going to go far, they're going to just bang a few goals.
He would, and that's what he's so good at, poaching in the 6-yard box like that. That is his forte, Immobile, and he was the first one to pounce. And Italy are coming on strong
still
now.
not happy. Still looks like he's...
And it's been deserved.
Super Mario.
It's been deserved for Italy. Fair play to them. I think they've been on top for most of the game.
Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah, they've asked all the questions, and now they're getting the answers.
Nice football around the box.
Yeah, it is good football here. Nice
and again,
strike.
like you said, poacher, first to react, game over. And as a striker, to get a goal so early in the tournament, to get that won't give you back. Again, you mentioned pressure, momentum. That's such a huge thing to have. I think Alan Shearer talks about he scored, I think, from the penalty spot, Euro 96. Rooney scored in the opening goal of England 2004, and you feel a bit more freedom than thereafter.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are a striker, I think Sterling hasn't scored in the last 3, and he still gets asked about it, not being there, not scoring.
Because it plays on your mind, doesn't it?
Of course it
must
does.
play on your mind.
Human.
The longer you don't score, and then you start snatching at things and trying
thinking about
too
my young
hard.
days on the pull, you don't score for a few nights.
Exactly. What am I doing wrong?
When I'm going to end this barren run, exactly.
I kind of feel now. I'm a professional footballer, and I'm no expert at the game either. But I kind of feel like Turkey are playing the type of football that I would play if I had just been out with a pandemic for 15 months and just got back on the pitch.
Would you say? A lot of players who've been playing professionally.
No, but I mean, just as a description. COVID? No, as I mean, they've been out for 15 months, and they're coming back in, and they have that excitement for a second, and then they.
Yeah, it looks like they've been outclassed. I feel they're being outclassed by superior Italian side.
You look at the manner of how the game has turned on its head inside 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
You really do fear for Turkey in the last half hour. And you really do think, if Italy give them a bit of a cane in here, this could set it up. If Wales can get a point against Switzerland and then head into the game against Turkey on Wednesday, I'd fancy Wales at the prices. Wales 3-1 to beat Turkey on.
Have the prices changed now, or the odds changed?
No, I'm saying.
Don't be surprised if you see a very different Turkey though against Wales. Don't be very surprised. Based on the fact that they know when they come up against a team like Wales, they can really go for it, as opposed to Italy. They more worried about what they can do to them than what they can do to Italy. They were going for the draw in this game. Against Wales, they will not be going for the draw. I can assure you that. So I think it'll be a very different Turkey. You'll see.
Turkey with a corner.
Yeah, Turkey have a corner here.
22 minutes to go. Well defended. It's a free kick.
Free kick to Italy.
And you can see the body language of the Italians. A lot of fist pumping, high fiving. They seem to be playing out with a lot more positivity now. And
especially when you have the confidence in your defenders who have kept so many clean sheets over the years, they know that they have the ability to shut out.
It's good finish that under pressure, isn't it?
It is. That's harder than it looks. He's got to go get it past the defender and the keeper as well. So
you used the term poacher a few times tonight, but he's done that rather than say stabbing it home or.
I
always thought someone like an Andy Cole was he was a goal poacher, but he wasn't necessarily a great one.
Will this really upset you, Jack, if Turkey go on to win the entire thing now? Which they could do.
But they won't.
They could do. Could they not?
Why would that upset him?
Well, because you said that you don't like it. You like the top of the table going in, and that's it.
All right, so they sneak through and get through. I mean, they won't. I mean, if you want to back them, I think the best part of 150 to 1 to win the tournament, which means basically if you put £10 on, you get nothing back from an odds perspective. But yeah, I don't think that as a tournament, if you're wanting the best teams in Europe, which is what the Champions League was supposed to be, the best teams in Europe get through to the latter stage of the competition. You want them to have won the league and then have won the group. And all of this is for TV. There's a different argument. It's all for TV money to extend the tournament and get more game time.
I only say that because we
must have got a shout to leave that.
Zeki Celik.
1-2. Give it back.
In the box for Turkey. One of the first times they've been in the box.
He's looking for a foul. And then wily, cagey Italian defenders aren't going to put a foot in there.
Definitely not. I think they've done a job on Yilmaz today because Yilmaz has been one of the stars of French football over the past
not to Jake there. We're saying 16 goals this turn. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Not bad for an old boy. The striker, not the young man with the play with the knobs down there.
First time the Euros have ever opened with an own goal.
Was it the first time?
Bit of trivia for you.
That Paul's been doing her homework. That's 20 minutes.
Wow.
Thanks to Daryl in the comments there.
Thank you very much.
Searching, I see. You've just been calculating, going for every single first game, haven't you?
It's interesting because you just never know what's going to happen throughout now, isn't it?
Oh, here come Italy again.
Oh, that he tried to take him out. Again, my type of defender.
Take him out.
I play a lot of five-a-side. I like to think of myself as a very no-nonsense centre half. If he tries to run past me like that, you are going to get a shoulder. So it's only fair.
All right. So not long, so 20 minutes to go.
I was going to say, it's interesting watching a game. I know I'm scrolling through Twitter, but you can always have a different game when you're reading Twitter, isn't it? But you always have a different game when you watch without the actual commentators commentating, isn't it? A bit like boxing again, isn't it?
You don't get their feedback from you. You make your own judgments.
You make your own judgments, and I've quite enjoyed it tonight, I have to say.
And what have you seen? What have you observed?
I've a bit like just what Jack said now, that Italy have just turned it on and just put petrol in the tank a little bit now, haven't they? They've sort of. And they could.
I really do think they'll get a third here.
I would not be surprised. Here's Immobile.
They're trying to, again, you just see the dummy and they just try to do a back heel through. They're playing with their confidence in full flow now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Mancini brings on a couple more subs that injects a bit more pace. You won't be surprised.
Turkey seems to be running on empty a bit.
Yeah, Turkey don't seem as dangerous anymore. I don't get the fire in the belly when they get the ball, to be totally honest.
Because they need to come out a bit. So Italy are finding it so easy to find spaces in between the lines now. Before they weren't. Before Turkey were defending very resolutely. But now they have to open up a bit. It's not easier for Italy to start playing nice, pretty football than it was before.
I'd just say keep an eye on our Free Bets football channel, because we will be running off at pretty much every game of the Euros. This afternoon's one was... get your hands on an Italy shirt. If Ciro Immobile's, I can't pronounce his name. Pronounce his name for me, Simon. Do the honors.
Which one?
Ciro
Immobile.
Yeah, my
Imagine
missus has
immobilised.
got a friend called last name is Mobile. I'm going to think of it that if he scores any time, we'll give away free an Italy shirt from the Euros. So that will be sent off to a lucky winner. So yeah, I think we'll have one of those offers on every game. I think it's if Harry Kane scores any time for England on Sunday, which I think he will.
Especially if we get a penalty.
Exactly, yeah. And so they'll probably give another one there. But yeah, every single game of the Euros will be giving a shirt away, so keep your eyes peeled on that.
Another stat alert. Do you want another?
Go on.
Okay.
I might start calling you Angus Lockram.
The stat earlier that Italy have never scored more than 3 in a Euros game is looking in danger.
Has never scored more than 3.
Says David Price. I mean...
He sounds Welsh.
Shall I tell you about David Price?
Shall I tell you about David?
David Price is from Swindon, and he's a construction worker. So, I mean, if you want to believe Dave from Swindon...
He's 43, single. He likes the walks on the beach and red wine, yeah.
I followed the mighty Swindon town. So...
I just want to think of loads of different puns from The Office, but I don't think anyone around here will get it.
That's Slough.
I like The Office.
The Office.
Yeah, they then team up with the Swindon lot.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, you're a hardcore fan, you are.
I mean, I don't have a page of it yet, but that's. I mean, it's not Max and Paddy, but still.
So, I mean, look, this is a great start for Italy, isn't it?
It's tremendous.
Great game to come out to.
Absolutely, they've been brilliant.
It's 4-on-4 at the back.
Considering we kind of started off, I don't know whether I was saying before.
Drop the shoulder, dip it round.
There's a lot of people who've said they were looking a little bit boring.
This is why, and again, the bookmakers don't often get it wrong. When they went out to 12-1, you went 12-1 is a big price.
Yeah,
the bookies are trying to lure you in with it. Yeah, come on. 12-1, dangle a carrot, bite it off.
Do you want to pass me the adapter?
Yeah, of course.
Good. Oh, you've just made contact. And I was the same. I thought, 2-1 the draw. If Turkey can keep it tight, but obviously, game over now.
It's game over now for sure. What are Turkey now? 1,000 to 1? A few hundred to 1?
And then the price was like the best part of 1,000 on the machine on betting exchanges. If need to translate, I really have to translate a lot because I do a lot of betting terminology without thinking. So I do apologise for any non-hardcore betting fans out there. I said it's going to be a big week. Royal Ascot starts on Tuesday. A lot of the one of the biggest betting heats of the week there will be what the Queen will be. There's always a massive betting on what the colour of the Queen's hat will be on each day.
Really?
She loves a bit of lilac. Fuchsia, if you want to get on the...
Purple is a power colour, though, so maybe she needs a bit of that at the moment.
There will be some form of opal. There will be a blue.
Okay.
There will be a pink. She likes a bit of yellow. Gold Cup Day on Thursday, she presents the main prize.
You know those weird bets, though, like that? Like what colour's the Queen's hat's going to be and all that
here we
stuff.
go. They're in again. Insigne again. Oh, he's gone.
He could have had a couple.
That wasn't
today.
Insigne, actually. It was Spinoza.
He's been very quiet, Jorginho. He's coming into his own now.
He is, because they're picking up all the spaces, and he knows
He has a bit more time on the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where he really comes into it.
Would you say, good season at Chelsea as well?
He's a very nice player, Jorginho. Very underrated.
He doesn't seem to attract the headlines of, say, Mason Mount. Is that just because he's
No.
not English? He's not
Because
a local boy?
He doesn't. He's not really in the final third. That's why he likes to play around the halfway line. So that's why he doesn't quite get the credit maybe he should.
And because, likewise, he's playing with N'Golo Kante. Who's
exactly.
going to get.
He does the running for him.
And I think it was, Joe Cole was saying after the Champions League final, I've played with Makelele. I've seen some of these players in this role. Nobody compares to Kante. It's.
Kante's a joke. He's like three players.
Two-thirds of the world is covered in water. The rest is covered by N'Golo.
He's like three different players. It's mad. I don't know how he does it so consistently.
And yet Sarri was trying to play him on the out of position on the left, and in hindsight, it's
No, that
incredible.
was very silly.
So are Italy better than you expected?
I wouldn't say better than I expected, but I think maybe Turkey are a bit worse than I expected.
Okay.
I would say that's for sure, because I think I expected them to have a bit
from
more
the
of a threat.
beginning, for the first sort of 20 minutes, I was thinking, Turkey could do one year.
Yeah,
they seem to have. It looks quite humid out there, and you say Turkey got a bit of an aging squad. It's been a long season.
Yeah, the star striker's 35.
It's tough work out there. It's a graft, especially when you are trying to play at a certain tempo when you are chasing a game. Italy have had a lot of possession, which means Turkey have been chasing a lot of shadows. They've been having to do a lot more extra work. And you see in the last 15 minutes, they look really tired.
Italy again.
And Italy are able to start spraying a few passes around now.
This Barella again.
Without watching the, if you just watch the highlights, it looks like Italy have battered them without knowing the context of the performance.
Well, they have battered them, haven't they? Really, I guess
they look like they've been in so much more control than Turkey.
They went 1-0 through their own goal, and then.
Yeah, but they've had all the running. They've had all the running, haven't they? It's Barella. He's looking for an angle, but couldn't get the angle.
Yeah, no goal, and then poached a goal from 6 yards.
I know the goal. Yeah, the goals are like that. But who's had all the running? It's all been all Italy, hasn't it?
It has.
Been all Italy. So I think they've deserved it. I wasn't offside.
And if you were that impressed by Italy's performance, you're wanting to back them. They're now into a best price of 15-2 from 10-1 to win the tournament. Sevens, it shorts 5-1 with Bet Victor. They're taking no chances. Mike Triffitt, you are a coward. But yeah,
people are saying
I know the guy does the odds for Bet Victor. It's fine.
The star of the match so far, though, apparently has been that little car that brings the ball on, which we missed at the beginning. Which I was getting.
Here we go. Insigne, 3-0. 3-0, and he's finally got it into the far corner, curled it in.
With his trademark move, yeah.
There we go. That's what I keep saying. That's what he likes to do. He likes to cut inside and curl it in, and it's 3-0. Battering
Fantastic.
Now it really is a battering.
And you said Italy have never scored more than 3.
More than 3, so this is it.
And if it should come down to goal difference, if the teams have all won one, drawn one, lost one, great for Wales. You should be cheering on every goal.
I know, absolutely, I am. I can imagine the Welsh team are licking their lips with delight at the moment. I mean, it is exciting.
Great finish by Insigne into the far corner.
Poor
from Turkey. Again, giving it to them, but good play to get into the position. It's easy.
It's the exact same move you said. Curled in with the right foot.
Exactly.
But just in terms of that, Turkey looks spent.
They do.
They look immobile.
There we go. Immobile.
They do. Yeah, we can put.
Do you see what I did there?
See what I did there? They look immobile.
Great finish!
I can turn a phrase. I can.
Wow. I mean, this game has totally turned on its head, hasn't it?
3-0, and now it's battering. Now it's a whitewash.
Considering I said, wasn't it, like the general gist on, I say, the Twitterverse was that Turkey's defence was incredible, wasn't it? The first 20
but you all
minutes
know as soon as you get one.
There you go. Score a goal and come off to a nice standing ovation.
There you go. Deserved as well.
Give us a bit of background on Insigne then.
he's pretty much spent his whole career at Napoli. He's still there now, and he's always been a player looking to get a big move. Never quite had it because he's always lacked a bit of consistency to his game, but he's a fantastic ability, great goal scorer, and always a threat when in the final third. Always a massive threat. Sometimes he can kind of go missing in games. That's why maybe he hasn't moved to a bigger club, but yet exactly. Still, I think he's still 28, so he's still got a bit of time. But he is a fantastic winger with a fantastic ability.
2 goal scorers, both.
And Belotti coming on as well now. As I said, he's a good striker, Belotti. It's one Spurs are very heavily interested in.
Nice cuddle from the gaffer. Both get a goal, come off. Pan on the bottom, job's a good one.
Maybe people are sleeping on Italy at the moment because Italy looks strong. I tell you what, they look strong.
Yeah, it's given the fact they're going to go into
They've
the next game with
easily.
Switzerland as well. So buoyed on the back of that.
But it's good news for Wales, I think. It's good news for Wales.
Like I said, look at the atmosphere, look at the body language.
These boys
they're
celebrating already, aren't they? Which
delighted.
so they should.
Yeah, of course they are.
Would you say Italy have been absolutely battered tonight, though, or
Turkey being battered?
Sorry, Turkey.
Yeah, I think
battered,
so.
yeah.
I would say so. Yes.
Taking a stuffing, that's a different put altogether.
Absolutely.
Not just you, probably that can do them. Yeah, and I think they've grown in confidence. They've really. I think the key to Italy is they showed a lot of patience first half. You know, they had a lot of possession without really having any gilt-edge chances. They got the lead, and then they really, put their foot on Turkey's throat and
it's almost like they've given Turkey a bit of a reality check, haven't they?
Absolutely, because people been talking up Turkey before this tournament, but I think definitely they've got a reality check after this second half. Although they would,
they did come out with a bit of fire, as we said, and that's not bad, is it?
I think first half they defended.
Run out of gas a bit.
That's how it goes. So as soon as you concede that first goal, as I said, it's so much harder to defend like that when you're losing than when you have something to hold on to, and that's what we've seen.
Can they get a fourth?
Definitely.
Just having a look. One of our the free bet builders was both teams to score no, Immobile to score any time, Italy to win, and Italy to be leading at half time, which would have been a nice 5-1 bet. And that goalless first half has cost. And I imagine a lot of those would be expecting Italy half time, full time, or winning both teams to score. Generally very popular bets. I think Italy 3-0 wouldn't have been a play with many punters this afternoon.
No. I don't think, not many people would expect to do a 3-0 whitewash.
Considering the first 20 minutes, even first half, I mean, this is turning out to be one of Italy's most successful games in the Euros, isn't it?
Definitely. I think people expect a lot closer game, and maybe people don't realise how strong Italy are this year, potentially, because they are looking very strong tonight. Defensively, they've given nothing away, and they look creative going forward as well with the likes of... little baby on the TV.
That's how I sleep.
That own goal, I think after that they were destined to crumble a little bit, I think.
That's the worry for them. But I think you'll see a different Turkey against the likes of Wales and Switzerland. I really
do. You think, or is this really just going to
what changes will they make?
They won't be as defensive. They will not be as defensive.
Is it just more the style of play, the overall shape of the team?
Even if Wales win on Saturday? Tomorrow.
Even if Wales win on Saturday, because they all know what Wales' biggest threat is, and that's Gareth Bale, and they'll know they can mark him out of the game. And they have, in terms of talent, they'll know they can match Wales and Switzerland in terms of talent. They can't match Italy. That's why they've gone for their strategy they've gone for tonight. It hasn't worked out for them. But they will definitely be a lot more offensive against the likes of Wales and Switzerland. They'll go for the win, and they'll try and play a lot more football than they've tried to play tonight, because tonight, it's a bad injury for someone.
Gosh. I can't look at that.
I thought I just got cramp.
Oh no.
Berardi.
Tell me when it's over.
No, he's all right. Okay. I don't know if he's all right, but he's
maybe he just
twisted something. It looks like. He's scraped his studs along his.
Oh, did he?
Along his thigh.
Tell you what, he's got some good calf muscles as Berardi.
No, you're loving the calves tonight, Jack.
Inspired by Simo, it's a leg day.
There hasn't been much. Hasn't been any injuries, have there tonight? To be fair, which is nice.
No yellow cards. I don't think. Tonight. Anyone on the yellow card mark?
Blooming good game of football.
Yeah, and again, it's always quite a soft start to the tournament. So then when you get to the deciding games, especially when there's something to play for, you'll see a flurry of yellows.
He's gone straight off.
Yeah, no risk in
Bernardeschi, Juventus forward. Bernardeschi.
I was going to say that's a name to pronounce after, that's a name to pronounce after a skinful. And 2 sleeves and a back tap.
And a blonde hair dye.
Tell you what, in terms of the footballers bingo, all you need now is like a fancy name for his kid, and you've got the full house. That's a poor ball.
Oh, deflection.
And he still end up from a corner. Cornerbackers screaming for everyone. Again, I'd say a couple of our viewers have chimed in saying people are underestimating how well Italy have played, saying Turkey are no mugs. Italy have just been very, very good.
I agree.
I think they've sent out a warning message to the rest of Europe.
No one put them as favourites.
Can you give us your Italian accent? That would show, which would
Bellissimo.
Describe,
Bellissimo.
That's not a warning message, is it?
Well, I don't know what the warning. That's the only Italian I know.
I won't do the accent for fear of it. Hey, you Welsh place. Yeah, I won't. Yeah. We're going to come and beat you. I'm trying to think of the chef from The Simpsons. Is he called Louis?
No, this is definitely a warning message, isn't it? To the rest
Absolutely.
of the
And especially as well, considering Italy have been unbeaten now for 3 years, since 2018. And
would you say this is a comeback as well?
They haven't conceded a goal since November, Italy.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a comeback, but it's definitely a show of strength. You've got to say that, looking at who they're playing against and how well they've played. So fair play to them.
So are you still saying that you didn't expect Turkey to be this bad, or are you more impressed with?
No, I'm definitely impressed with Italy.
Yeah.
Definitely impressed with Italy.
Better than expected, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Much better than expected.
Yeah.
They have been so dominant. So I didn't expect them to create so many chances and be so fluid up front, which they have been. And I think people are sleeping on them, how talent they have going forward, I think. And we all know how good they are defensively. All right. If you want to come on and give your opinion, there will be a call-in show after the game as well. So the link will be, where will the link be? In the description, did you say? We're going to post a link in due course, but we will be taking calls after the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And you can come on, and calls are open to the public as well. So make sure you are staying tuned. You can go give your opinion on how the game's gone tonight and whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah,
I know
you're
used to this, aren't you? Taking calls? Do you take calls?
Well, you take calls, texts, tweets, that type of thing. We'll do, even if you want to shout at us, I've said like throughout the night, make sure you follow us on Twitter, freebets.com. That's DOTCOM. Yeah, free bets. Sorry.
No, you're right. You
yeah, freebets.com on Twitter. And then also, whack in your comments as well on the chat on our YouTube as well. Anything you want to say, whether you've thought, your thoughts on Italy, your thoughts on Turkey. Gosh, I mean, yeah. I think we've all been a little bit shocked, haven't we, tonight?
I think by just the gap of the quality, I think I've been a bit surprised. I did think it would be a closer, but looks like it's a rout at the moment. Could even be more.
Yeah,
Could be another goal here. Bernardeschi with a free kick, swinging it in. It's over everyone's head, unfortunately.
I mean, how do Turkey just keep playing under these circumstances now,
I think they just got to play for pride and for goal difference. Yeah. Unfortunately, you got to make sure the battering isn't too much, because goal difference, especially with such a tight tournament, goal difference can always come into play. So they just got to make sure they're playing representing their country, then making sure that they don't cave in. Oh, but as I was saying that, it made a mistake. It's all right. It's been cleared.
Yeah, a lot of people now calling that Italy are going to win the entire thing now.
Fickle. Where were they?
Oh, we left them
2
all.
hours ago? They should have taken the 10-1 2 hours ago rather than the 7s now. That was a naughty tackle. That's going to see a card.
And sometimes that happens as well when
and
a team is frustrated.
And it's not his birthday.
Yellow card.
That was the equivalent of you've gone at home empty-handed at 2:30 in the morning, and now you're just trying to chat anything. We'll get off this topic of this conversation very quickly. Pronounce that name for us.
I missed it.
We missed it. What was it?
Dervish Golu.
Golu.
Any good?
Golu.
Don't know who he is, actually.
Oh, right.
One player I don't know.
Do you reckon what that was on the pitch? Was that a lump of turf?
Oh, he slipped, yeah.
Ooh.
Italians are cheering because
they
they've
are
won
delighted.
a free pick. Yeah.
Yeah, they just know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of.
Who have Italy got next?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Oh,
it's Wales
next
last.
week, yeah.
I see.
And Polly will be back here in the studio on Wednesday when it is Wales against Turkey.
Gosh.
Crunch match.
It's going to be, yeah, that is going to be... Hopefully we'll have a good game tomorrow.
Who will you
Where will you
have?
be watching it?
I think... Sorry?
Where will you be watching
I'm going to be
it?
on air.
Are you going to be on
I'm
air?
going to be live on air,
that's
so
right.
I'm going to be, yeah.
Come on, Wales!
Will you be watching it on air?
Go on, Bill! That's the Arctic Monkeys on Radio X.
Did you say Radio
No,
1?
I think Radio X. Gosh. I
BBC
think
hit me
this is going to lift. I think this is going to lift our spirits. You know, definitely, 100%. This game, but I think the whole. I think it's going to propel everyone's mood. Everyone's going to just try and step up to the mark a little bit now. You know,
they've
shown.
have a chance.
We will be doing...
I think so.
I'm going to say that over the next 2 days, Frank and I will be in Trafalgar Square on Sunday filming with England fans, and I'm expecting them
Are you
to
going to go
be
down there? Yeah.
very boicious indeed. I think there's going to be such
Not in
Yeah.
Trafalgar
Fans.
Square. They're all going to be.
Oh no, the fan park there.
Yeah, the fan.
Not
Yeah.
the actual. I'm going to say not going to EastEnders yet. I think there's going to be some very excited England fans. I think people are going to get so carried away, especially if they win on Sunday. I think it's going to go mental.
But
in
that's
terms of
it,
the hype.
though. That's it. England
And
do
that's
get
why the
carried
Welsh
away
and the Scottish and the Irish don't like the English, right?
because they get carried away.
You think you're going to win everything?
Yeah,
Arrogant.
you do though, don't you? You get carried away. The
Of course
English
we do.
fans.
Well,
It's
we
the same
love
in the
getting
rugby,
carried away.
Six Nations.
That's what we're known for.
And is that the problem?
Hoopla.
Well, I mean, knowing Spurs fans as well, we also like to get carried away. I want to quickly say something. If you want to call in, if you head over to Free Bet's YouTube channel, the link is we are co-streaming at the moment with Free Bets. Sorry, we are co-streaming with Free Bets, and the link is in the description at the moment on the Free Bets YouTube channel. So head over there, and you can call in into the show.
You can speak to the famous Polly James. You lucky things, you.
Don't ask me anything about.
Ask her Orthop.
Uh,
God, wow, I don't know where this
What
list
was
has
that?
come from. 6 years since Dusty Rhodes passed away.
No, I'll
King
take
of
on.
the-
I'll
oh,
take
great
on
ball
a
in.
Turkey are in. Oh, he's missed it.
Oh,
Yilmaz.
It's a good block.
Good block by Chiellini. That's what Chiellini
And Chiellini
obviously.
is celebrating that block like
a
he
goal,
is.
yeah.
Look
Look
at
at
that.
but look at them.
These
That's how much they
boys-
love defending.
But also that's complacency by Italy a little bit as well.
A
Isn't
little
it?
bit, but then
They
you
recovered.
look at the
Yeah.
camaraderie between them when they recovered.
Yeah, and you're just like, that
it's-
was.
You know, these boys are
And head
in
over the bar. That should
terrific
be it.
spirits, and it's it's a job
Are we
well done.
done?
Ultimately,
Are we done?
Not
I haven't
yet.
got my
Another
glasses
40
on.
seconds, Paul.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
Oh, what
Great
a block that
tackle
is. That's a
that is,
goal
yeah.
otherwise. Look at that. Donnarumma celebrating that like he's just
Oh.
scored a hat
Do you
trick.
ever feel bad and you just think, oh, go on, just pop it in for Italy?
Never.
I mean, Turkey. No, never.
Never. Score another.
Look at this
Yeah.
passing. Look at the nonchalantness. Tremendous. They could-
Oh, he's giving it away, is
if
he?
they pump this forward, they could get a
Yeah, he
fourth
could.
here.
Oh, wow.
It's 4-on-4.
Oh, he slipped it.
11 seconds ahead. Go on, have a dig, son.
Go on, get a fourth.
You've
Come
got
on.
history. You've never scored 4.
Finish it. Belotti.
Ah,
Nice.
and
Good
he'll
tackle
blow
by
it, he'll blow
Zeki
it.
Celik. That's it. It's over.
Put them on a
It's
mid-range.
3-0.
Italy 3, Turkey 0, the opening game of the European Championships 2020. So more importantly, job well done.
What a performance. I
Yeah,
think
fantastic.
they really put a marker down. They've laid a marker down
Yeah.
for what people have to live up to, because I think that's a very strong opening game by Italy. They looked energetic, they looked defensively solid, they looked creative on the ball, and they looked clinical in the final third when they got the opportunity. So fair play to Italy, great performance from them, and I think that'll be unexpected how impressive they've been in that game.
Yeah, and like we said before, maybe not a full-blown comeback, but a message to the rest of Europe to say, we are back.
Definitely. I think people have been sleeping on Italy for too long, and now with Mancini at the helm, unbeaten for such a long time, I think they'll fancy themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Polly, what's the consensus on Twitter in terms of the reaction to the performance? Is it more Turkey were poor, Italy were great, somewhere in between?
You're getting the memes and the gifs of how bad Turkey were, unfortunately.
Oh, right. So
I mean, the
And look at this. Look at these scenes. They're very together, aren't they?
I've
this
not
Italian
seen
squad?
an Italian side like this in a long time. Is this a generation thing? Because obviously at the height of 2006, they disappointed thereafter. Is it just I always think it in my head like teams of 10 to 15 years. You think the golden generation, they've all passed through now. There's nobody left, and it's almost like a fresh start for them.
Yeah, I think this is a new generation for Italy, and I think they're really coming into their own now. And there's a very, very. I think they've got a nice blend of experience young talent and young players coming through as well. So I think people maybe underestimated how good Italy are coming into this game, coming into this tournament. I mean, because they're coming into a very strong record, very impressive record in qualifying and over the past couple of years. So I think maybe people didn't expect them to be so strong. But you look at their squad, and they really have a very big, talented squad. So it shouldn't really surprise people. But maybe people thought a few players will pass their best when they're not really.
Would you, if you're looking at some of the outright markets or the top goal scorer market, would you almost put too much, I suppose, emphasis on this result, or is it just a case of bookmakers are now going to overreact? Like I said, Italy 7-1 from 10s. Immobile's now, I think, cut into 12s to be top goal scorer at the tournament. Is it a case of if you've got on at the fancier prices already, excellent, but probably wouldn't be taking the shorter odds based on the back of that?
Not just yet. I don't think it was convincing, but I know Turkey are no mugs, but Turkey aren't exactly one of the top dogs in Europe just yet. So despite Turkey being a lot of people's underdogs or dark horses, I still think Italy have a few things more to prove, but it's definitely an impressive start. But I wouldn't start lumping money on them just yet.
Italy are doing that thing again where nobody was talking all that much about them pre-tournament, and then they go on to win it, aren't they?
Absolutely. And they've done it so many times, so it doesn't surprise me.
It's one of the things where I think a lot of attention goes on the more fancied sides. Like France and England have kind of made up all the headlines. Portugal have then crept in. Belgium have crept in, and Italy, alongside Holland, that you probably say that as a big six. Some of them have attracted more attention than others, and then when you take them out of the equation, you go to Germany. Nobody's really mentioned their 8-1, and then further, if you take them 7 sides out, it's 25-1 the rest. Denmark, Croatia, Switzerland, Poland, Ukraine, and then Turkey now out to 100-1 on the back of this.
Outright.
For the outright. But to your point, given the fact they can finish third and still go through, and realistically, they were going to lose this, as a bookmaker suggested. All they've got to do is beat Wales and Switzerland to advance through. Would you be tempted at all to the 100-1, given the fact they were half the price?
No. I think
you've seen enough.
Yeah. I think Turkey have shown enough today how they perform against a real top quality side. And despite the fact that I think they may well get through this group, they may well perform well against Wales and against Switzerland. I believe that. I think they've shown that they don't really have the minerals to really perform. Perform against a top team.
They were quite overhyped, though, I think, more than they should have been.
Potentially,
Turkey.
I agree with that. I believe people maybe
have Italy just made them look really, really bad?
I think maybe they were a bit overhyped. I think that's definitely something, because I think the threat they showed on the counter-attack was nowhere near enough for what people thought they were going to show. And they didn't provide any sort of threat to Italy. And I think, Italy played it amazingly well, but I think the way they set up, they stifled themselves as much as Italy stifled them, I think.
Was it also just a case of the fact that I think people presumed Italy would win the group and win it quite comfortably, but they were looking for a bit like if you're looking at either a race or darts or whatever. You always think I'm trying to look for second. And you look at Turkey, Wales, and Switzerland. Well, Turkey are going to finish second there, so maybe they're a bit of value. When really the truth is that Italy are just in a different class to these three other teams in the group.
They are. Yeah. I think they've shown tonight that they are, because I think Turkey on paper were the hardest team they had to face, and the way they've dispatched against them shows that I think they are in a different league to these other three.
And you'd say as well, how lucky have they got given the composition of their group compared to the makeup of others? Again, England have got Croatia, Czech Republic, and Scotland. Just switching gears and going into that, do you think Scotland have got any chance of getting through that group?
Yeah, definitely. I think Scotland.
Who's Scotland going to get points off?
Czech Republic.
Okay.
And I think they can get points off England. I
Really?
really do. At least a point. They're always going to be tough to play against Scotland.
That's going to be madness as well, because I think England-Scotland's on 8 o'clock kickoff. It's a third game on a Friday.
On a Friday night, yeah.
Oh.
It's going to be heavy. Yeah, it's going to be mental.
It's going to be heavy. Just want to get your thoughts on the group of death.
Group F, is it?
Yes.
Just looking at it now, I was thinking, poor Hungary.
Yeah, and even their best players injured for the tournament as well.
Oh, no.
I know. So
if you're fancy something, Germany are favourites in that group.
Are they favourites?
Germany are favourites to top the group, 6-4.
No way.
Well, you
How?
because there's been money for them this morning.
No,
France,
you put money on France if they're
France are 15-8 with Betway to top the group.
Lump some money on that. I would.
Given the fact that Germany are bigger to win the tournament than they are France, it's a case of people presume France might slip up and still end up winning it because they're stronger overall.
I think it's an odd one. Germany haven't.
They're very efficient, the Germans.
They are. They did go lead. They went out the group stages in the World Cup, didn't they? In 2018, they didn't even make out the group stages. So. I think Germany, they're trying to start a new era, but I think they'll be lagging behind. I still think they're going to finish third in this group, Germany, despite...
You think Germany will finish third?
Yeah, third, behind Portugal.
So Portugal at 72. Again, it must be just Betway taking such a strong view that Germany, even money favourites win the group. They're happy to lay... In bookmaking teams, they're happy to take it in the satchel. They're happy to take bets on France and Portugal to win the group, with the belief that Germany will top the group rather comfortably.
That's surprising to me. I think Germany, I think they're the third best team in that group. I really believe that. And I think they're going back to the old, they called up Thomas Müller for the first time in a few years because they can't get a tune out of the other front players. I know they've got Havertz and Werner who had decent seasons at Chelsea, but the squads for Portugal and France are really informed players who are performing at a very high level at the moment. So I'm very surprised that Germany are not our favourites with some bookmakers.
You mentioned that Havertz and Werner had good seasons. Neither really lived up to their full potential, would you say? And is it a case of people expecting further improvements back with the German national team?
Yeah, I think maybe they expect him to step up a bit once they go on international duty. When it comes to their time at Chelsea, they didn't have the best of seasons, but in the later couple of months, they did start to come into their own, did start to make a big impact. I mean, definitely with Havertz, scoring in the Champions League final, he'll definitely be very confident going into this Euros tournament. So they got those players, but I think when you look at the players Portugal and France have, I think they're more in form, they're younger, and I think they're going to be more likely to finish in those top two spots.
It's almost like a bit of a cliche as well, but they have match winners as well. You think from Portugal and France, they have players that can just turn it on like that and find a goal from nothing. And a bit like Immobile did there. He's pinched a goal that's basically sealed the game.
They don't really have that. They don't have that poacher.
And Germany don't really have that type of match winner that can seal a game or find something out of nothing.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. They play Werner up front, don't they? And Werner isn't the best at poaching. He's more likes the guy who likes space, likes running behind.
He's a 10, yeah.
Exactly. More of a winger kind of. And I don't think they have that player. They're going to maybe be relying on Thomas Müller, but he's not a natural poacher either. So he's more of a 10 as well. So they obviously are going to play a different system, maybe a false 9, but I don't think they have the kind of guy who can just come up with a goal out of nothing like France and Portugal do.
Mm-hmm. Polly, any more questions?
I will.
I'm just going to go one sec. I'll be back in a sec.
I will finish this with David Roberts, who is on.
He must be Welsh.
Di Roberts. He is Welsh, and I echo his sentiments. Glad we got Italy last. Hopefully, they will be qualified by then, and they will play their second team.
That's a great idea, especially if you know that Italy have almost won and topped the group quite comfortably.
Yeah.
Rest a few the big games. A few of the big names, and then give the other guys a chance.
It's a game of tactics, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Come on, Wales, by default, baby.
Will you be draped in the dragon tomorrow in the studio?
Yes,
the Radio
I've got
studio?
Yes, because obviously we're up in London now, so I've got all my stuff. So I'm going to be I'm going to wear my shirt with pride tomorrow.
Are the phonics in the playlist? It kind of has to be done, right?
I hope they are. Yeah.
I know we've got a few.
No,
you do it on the day.
We don't know.
Is it impulsive?
We actually have a full music team to.
Right.
To sort the music out. But I know, because it's the start of the Euros this weekend, and it's going to be a really hot, sunny weekend. Obviously, England playing in Wembley as well. There's going to be a lot of
I'm expecting
Dakota, the only number one from the Stereophonics, summer of 2005. What a great year.
That was my indie prime.
Proper indie anthem,
Subways.
I think we will. Yeah, the Subways Rock and
When
Roll
it's our
Queen.
block
That's
party,
a great one.
yeah.
Yeah. But
I hope to be 18 again.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for tomorrow. I think now after seeing this game, and I know obviously it went in our favour as well. We get a lot of advantage, Wales, when I suppose when it's going in our favour, if that makes sense,
And it's a way for I think this summer is needed on all counts really. Just large fan gatherings, as cliche as that is, like I'm so happy to see festivals again. You know, that type of atmosphere is so hard to replicate elsewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just a wave of euphoria, isn't it?
Totally.
If few of the domestic teams do well, that kind of floods out into the, I suppose, the general public. So, yeah, fingers crossed you don't. I say you, meaning you. Being Wales.
You Wales. Yeah, that's fine. You can say me for the whole of the Welsh stream. No.
Yeah, hopefully, it gives you something, and you come here again on a high on Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, I hope so, guys. It'd be awesome. We were just saying that we hope Italy qualify before they play us.
Oh, that's good.
And then they play their second team, and then hopefully that puts us in good stead.
When England got beat by Belgium in 2018, the last game of the group stage, I think it worked out in England's favour. If they got beat, they'd have had a better game. They'd have had a better fixture.
Oh, a better fixture. Yeah. Well, this is round.
And Italy might be having one eye elsewhere, thinking that. You know.
What's the consensus with the Welsh folk at the moment in terms of got to Euros semi-final Euro 2016?
It's been a little bit inconsistent recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, but is there a feeling maybe you could replicate that, or is it maybe is the expectations a bit dampened?
As I said before, like when when Wales dare to believe, and I think that's our advantage. We, in these big tournaments and things, we sometimes it's not about, I say, talent or the physical aspect, but I think the mentality of the team that can really push us over the finishing line first, and also in terms of the fans, we don't have to be these hardcore football fans. We get behind Wales and we get behind our boys, women, whatever. We get behind our people, even if it's something that we don't watch all the time, and that pushes us on as well, just to know that they've got the nation behind us. We're a small nation, but when we get put on the map on these big occasions, we're there to push them all the way, and I think that's the advantage that we've got.
And just going on another Welsh player that's kind of gone under the radar this year, it's a big tournament for Aaron Ramsey. He's had a poor year out in Italy. He'll be buoyed by that performance there. A lot of his teammates.
I think he's got some injury problems though. I don't know if he's going to be playing a lot this tournament.
Yeah, it's a bit of what he's got a point to prove, and you look at I suppose the makeup of the Wales squad. There's a lot of lads who have been there and done it, but there's a lot of young blood in there, and it's just about trying to find that balance. There's obviously been off the field distractions with the manager, and Rob Page is coming in and sound like doing a good job, but Wales go there with nothing to lose and everything to gain. So absolutely,
I genuinely don't feel, when you say the consensus in Wales, I genuinely don't feel that there's any pressure on us either. To be totally honest, again, I feel we're dark horses again, and that's why I always like to back the dark horse or the underdog.
I was just wondering, having made the semi-finals, there's a bit more pressure, or is again expected not to do anything?
I don't think we were expected not to do anything, but I don't think there's a lot of I don't feel that there's a lot of pressure on our shoulders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's as well. I know there was a year break or the year delay, but it's been, as you say, we've got obviously different players. We've got some young guns coming through as well, but obviously, our key players like Ramsey and also Gareth, they are different players. Again, 5 years is a long time, isn't it, in a player's career? So it's just going to...
Gareth since then.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting because this is new territory for us. We hadn't qualified, you can tell me this, for the Euros when we did in 2016. I'm going to say for decades and decades, wasn't it?
92?
Something like that.
No, I mean, I think it was even longer than that.
I think it was 74, and it was a joint.
I think it was.
Because I had to write a lot of articles on it at the time, and I think it was when it was a really weird tournament. But for you Welsh, it's in the blood. If there's anything involved with a dragon on the chest, you're going to get involved.
Exactly. So again, there's that aspect of us feeling very, we're excited to be there. These guys are playing for their country in the Euros. They're going to want to step it up a gear.
Have you heard the potential rumours of reports in Spain anyway saying Bale could retire after the Euros?
I haven't heard that. No.
There's a few rumours flying around.
Who knows? I mean, gosh, does he
have
anything else?
31.
Yeah. Has he got anything else to prove? Maybe.
I mean,
Wales, the thing is,
golf.
Wales, golf, Madrid. The thing is with Gareth is that he absolutely loves playing for Wales. He loves it and he thrives off it. And hopefully during this tournament now he'll show, as I said, some of that magic that he has done this season for Tottenham, and what he did back in 2016.
Just
who knows?
Just based on that. on that performance by there, how would you upgrade England's potential chances based on that? Would you think that they
based on that?
Yeah, as a kind of like a benchmark to try and emulate. Just have a look, because England are 80-13 to beat Croatia on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I envisage a very similar type of performance where England need to show a bit of patience, and if they get one, they could get 2 or 3 again if it brings on like
I think Croatia. I think will be. I envisage anyway. It should be a tighter game. It should be a tighter game than this one because I think Croatia have a bit more know-how than Turkey how to perform on this big stage. They have players on the pitch who not long ago, 3 years ago,
loads of experience.
They got to World Cup final 3 years ago.
Have they been overlooked, especially in that group?
Croatia.
Yeah.
I don't think they've necessarily been overlooked. I think I do think they've declined a bit since they were World Cup finalists 3 years ago. But I do also think that that they declined a bit, but also they're no monks, and I think they know how to get through games.
And again, we mentioned I always say this. I always call it patriotic punting. England a 2-5 to win the group. Mm-hmm. That seems really short, given that
it's very short.
Lose one game, and that's
too short. Because I think that actually, with Croatia, even though I think they're the best team in the group, I think the way those teams could turn up against England, I reckon they could easily drop points in 2 of those games.
And if England say drew 1-1 with Croatia on Sunday, the media immediately starts slating the players as a go at Southgate's free selection. So and so shouldn't have been
pressure starts piling on.
See, and that's the pressure that the England side get from the media, and I feel as well sometimes from the fickle fans. Like, and I don't know, fickle. The Welsh fans, I think, are a bit opposite, and we don't get that pressure from the Welsh media.
Yeah, because I think, exactly.
No, it's like they're happy to be here. There's no expectations, and it's like, oh my God, these guys have done amazing, and we want to back them. It's like, you see it so badly.
I remember seeing the shots in 2016 of the Wales fans teaching. I think the other fans, there must have been Iceland fans, like some of their chants to try and get along, saying, "Don't take me home, please don't take." And like these Icelanders, what are these lads on about? But they were just so happy just to be at such a level of the tournament. So I'm with you.
It is though. It is that.
It's a strange one.
They appreciate to be there and they want to just play their guts out.
Do we have something? Do we have? Is he waiting? Should we get him on?
We have a call. Oh my gosh.
We have a call. Yeah, we got earphones. We only have. Do we have a third set? Because we only have 2 here.
You could take the call and relay them. All right, fair enough.
There you go.
Wow.
There's some headphones here. Oh, can you turn your phone portrait? Landscape. There we go. Do we have a third set? Yeah.
Is Ben live on location?
He is not located. Not that line. He's on Box Park.
Is one? Oh,
yeah, one of them
let's
is for
see
you. 1 sec. Oh, sorry, I've dropped it now.
Please don't take me home. See, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be lush seeing some of the. Thank you very much. Some of the fans who've waited for years and years and years to see, Wales in the Euros and stuff, to watch them. Oh wow, here we go.
All right, we've got a call. Hello.
On, people?
I can't hear anything.
Here.
That's a very smiley man.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I can't hear.
I can hear.
Oh, why can't I hear?
How you doing, guys? You good? All good, you?
Hello?
Hey Ben, we can hear you. What's going on? Where are you? Wembley? Wembley Walk, is
Wembley
it?
Way. Yeah, I'm on Wembley
nice.
Way.
Is it a hub of excitement there?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. Box Park was packed. A lot of people in there watching the game, opening games of the Euros. To be honest, I thought the first half was a bit of a letdown today.
It was drab.
Yeah,
we tried to stay positive, but I thought it was drab.
Considering the match it turned out to be.
I can't really hear you properly because I don't have headphones, but
Right.
I thought the first half was pretty poor today, but I thought second half the game came to life, and Italy really showed why there really can be dark horses in this tournament, in my opinion.
You say dark horses, Ben. They are I think the 4th, 5th favourites to win it. Would you be buoyed by that in terms of going all the way? I think 7-1 from 10-1 to lift the trophy, and Immobile's off the mark now. He's 7-1 to be 12-1 to be top goal scorer.
Yeah, look, Immobile is a quality striker. I think Italy will fall maybe in the quarters or the semis, but they could go far in this tournament, that's for sure. I think they got a quality side there. I think when you look at the other teams that you're comparing them to in terms of France and England, even England and Portugal, I think they will just fall short just at a few hurdles before the final.
And just keeping our attentions on the group, Polly's here, our token Welsh representative. How do you think that?
Home, I'm hearing.
Yeah, I thought that was off air. Yeah. See you later, Jake. Given the fact that Wales now play Turkey's next game is Wales on Wednesday, the Welsh have got to half be licking their lips based on that, given how badly they kind of went away in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Wales will go into that, I think, confident to get a result, especially with Gareth Bale, with the form he's been on the latter parts of the season. I think they'll fancy their chances against this Turkey side. And I think Turkey came into the tournament with a lot of people saying they're the dark horses, but I actually fancy Wales to beat them, to be fair.
Really? Yes. Can I say Wales, but well backed as well in the aftermath. I think people have been having one eye on that fixture on Wednesday. Now collected a 9-4. Turkey still even money favourites. And going forward, again, Wales have got to play Switzerland tomorrow. How do you think they're going to get on against the Swiss?
It's going to be a very tough fought game, in my opinion. I think it could be maybe a low scoring game. But again, I quite fancy Welsh to do something against Switzerland. I think when you cast your mind back to the last Euros, I mean, they had a real togetherness about them, the Welsh squad. And I think that maybe they can replicate that this Euros. And like I keep saying, especially with Gareth Bale, because he's had a torrid 2-3 years, but I think he really has proved the second half of the season how good he actually is.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's hope he comes back to life, as we were saying before, and he's at home with his Welsh team, isn't he? He's comfortable. Let's hope he takes some of that magic from the Spurs.
Absolutely. Do you think, Ben, do you think Turkey might have disappointed a lot of people tonight in how they approached the game?
100%. And who he definitely disappointed was Turkish from Arsenal Fan TV, who was there tonight, who I saw, and he was absolutely gutted when that second goal went in. And, there were quite a few Turkey fans in there, and they were distraught. I think they came to this game thinking they could defy the odds, but it wasn't to be at the end of the day.
Yeah, very overhyped considering.
Well, yeah, Simmer pointed out that they've kind of set up looking for a point almost, and then as soon as they've gone 1-0 down, they've got no answers. So, yeah, disappointing. Just looking further afield, I hear you're a bit of a judge. Have you got any tips for us for the tournament, looking broader afield?
Ooh, to be honest, before the tournament, me and my brother were talking, we were saying Benzema for the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
If he's still fit, then I would back that, but I'm not sure if he's fit or not going into the tournament. I'm gonna stick to my usual Harry Kane Golden Boot. That's what I like to do in tournament.
We both of you.
Do you not think he's just too short? The thing is, the problem is everyone's backed him to the point where he's now no longer. I think 6-1. The only person that's shorter than him is Romelu Lukaku, who potentially could get 3 or 4 for Belgium in the group stage. I think if Kane stays fit, it's hard for him not to be in the first 2 or 3 or 4. And with most bookmakers, you're going to get quote the odds first 4, so you can't lose in terms of you get your money back anywhere. Can you give us something at a price? Give us an England midfielder at say double figure price. I think Phil Foden's up there as maybe 33 to 1.
Jack Grealish, player of the tournament.
Player of the tournament. I was just about to say Phil Foden and Grealish are both 25s, 33s. If England get to the final, semi-finals as their price or flex, they're going to need a bit of magic. But yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see. Like I said, I'm there where you are. I think with the Scotland fans on Monday, and that could be messy. I've got a bad feeling Scotland are going to get at least a point from England next Friday.
It's going to be a tough game. There's no two ways about it. It's going to be a tough game. I don't know if you remember the last time we played Scotland, and this was a poorer Scotland side. If you remember, we had to claim the draw in the last minute with a Harry Kane 94th minute goal. So when Scotland come and play England, anything can happen. Anything.
Yeah, it's a bit like when Wales play one of the Wales. Gosh. Same with England. That is their game of the decade.
Oh yeah,
that's the one you're up for more than anything.
I support Wales and anyone who plays against England.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
I mean, it's a big game, and there's even that I always feel like it's bigger for Wales and Scotland, and England are just like it's not a big deal for us, but I think it is, isn't it?
Ben, any more games you're looking forward to? Any fixtures that stand out? Say from the group of death, for example.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Portugal-France. I think that is going to be the game of the tournament. I mean, the thing is, sometimes with these big games, they kind of flatter to deceive, and you really look forward to these games, and they can turn up into a kind of chess match or a drub 0-0 or 1-0. So yeah, I am looking forward to it. I think France and Portugal, like I said, I think are the two favourites for the tournament. So any games that they're in, I'm looking forward to.
Apparently, Germany are favourites to top the group now.
Really?
It's madness.
Yeah.
Germany now short as evens with some bookmakers, and 6-4 generally across to be to win the group of death. I just don't understand why.
Having said that, I got a tip for you then. Muller to get the most assists in the Euros.
Do we have a market for that? Is that an actual thing, or is that just based on stats?
See, who makes these silly little ones up? Not the silly ones, but the really outsider bets up.
Well, you can pretty much
just add anything, but who adds them? Could you
can request with a bookmaker anything really. Just going on that play with the tournament. Mbappe is 8-1. I think that's a great bet. Mbappe 8-1 to be player of the tournament. Kante 16s. I think Kante wins the Ballon d'Or this year. I think it's hard to, especially if France go well. Harry Kane 16-1 to be player of the tournament. Any shout?
I'm never going to back against Harry Kane because I see him week in, week out. I see what magic this guy produces on a football field, literally week in, week out. So it's hard for me to back against him. But if I was going to back against him, and I was going to go for an England player, I would 100% go for Jack Grealish. Absolutely love the guy. I think in the build-up games, he's been man of the match both games. And I'd back him to win it over Foden, I think, for sure.
Yeah, just have another couple of Spurs markets while we've got you guys with us today. Is Fonseca a done deal now in terms of next manager? Is 1-5?
Still only 1-5. That's pretty. I thought it'd be shorter than that.
Buying money. Is that buying money now?
Pretty much. I think so.
I think Pochettino was 1-5 at one stage.
No, he wasn't.
Pochettino was definitely odds on. He went to 4-9 after the rumours. And we had Graham Bailey, who we do a lot of stuff with. It was a football journal, deals with transfer specials. He was saying that Pochettino thing purely came from Daniel Levy telling, I wouldn't mind having someone like Pochettino back with us. And then Pochettino hearing, oh, by the way, they still want you back, do they? And it was kind of like that was it. It's like telling, messaging your ex saying, I still fancy you, more or less. That's about as far as it went, but there was no actual talks there. Just, you mentioned Harry Kane there. You mentioned the special things he does. He's currently, you can back him at 5-4 to still be at Spurs after the summer transfer window. Will he leave this summer?
I think it all depends if Man City stump up the cash, to be honest. I think if they're as desperate as they say they are, or they
need a striker. It's either him or Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland's not leaving this summer.
And Haaland can go for 75 million next year, so he's not going this summer.
Haaland ain't leaving this summer, so it all depends if they stump up the cash or if Harry Kane makes a stink. It's one of the two. So I can see Man City stumping up the cash, to be honest. I think 150 million, thank you very much. Obviously, I'll be distraught if Harry Kane left, but ultimately it's inevitable with the way Spurs are going at the moment.
Yeah, I don't envy any chairman trying to drive a hard bargain with
Daniel Levy.
Yeah, it's
definitely not.
Are
there odds on how many bids would it take to get Harry Kane in there?
How many meetings at the table? Yeah, how many times have you been knocked
I'd like to
back?
see the odds on that one.
How much would it take to prize him away from Spurs? Do you think 150 million?
In my opinion. 150, I think.
That's a lot of money for a 28-year-old.
There should be odds on how much he's going to cost.
That would be a market, yeah. I mean,
I'll take that.
Do you not think that you mentioned Man City? Do you not think there's any chance he goes to United?
Sorry, say that again?
So you mentioned Man City. Do you not think there's any chance he goes to United?
Nah, no chance.
Really?
No chance. I think it's Man City. I think it's only Man City, to be fair. I think he wants to go somewhere where he's guaranteed trophies every year.
Guaranteed trophies and lead the line up front, presumably, yeah.
Yeah, that's not Manchester United. That's Man City. I think Man United is too much of a risk for him.
Yeah, especially if he's wanting to win things. Man United haven't won a trophy, 4 years now? I think they won
since Jose.
Since Jose led them to the Europa League, so interesting. All right,
especially with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there, who only likes to lose in semi-finals and a few finals here and there. So.
Exactly.
Spurs fans giving out about silverware. This is unbelievable.
We have to do something, don't we? Because we can't exactly have many finals to win ourselves.
Lads, I'm a Huddersfield fan, so I mean, take that. You could be a lot worse.
Ben, just quickly before you go, I suppose this is surprising and unsurprising at the same time, but Italy score 3 in a Euro game for the first time ever. It is
their
most successful game with goals, I suppose, isn't it? Which is, I don't know.
I found that really weird.
Yeah, same.
I don't know if that's just because they've just been, they've always been very methodical, if you want to put it like that. They've never really done more than they had to, a bit like a horse that wins on the bridle. But we'll see. I'm with Ben. I don't think they'll necessarily get to the latter stage. I think the last 4 will be the likes of Belgium, Portugal, France, and England. Yeah. So
I rate them higher than Belgium, Italy.
Belgium have really gone down in people's estimation the last few months, and I suppose when you point out the vulnerabilities with them at the back, it's just going forward. You know they're going to get goals. It just becomes like something like out of the OK Corral. It becomes an old-fashioned gunfight. We score more than you, but yeah,
it is unbelievable to think that they haven't scored more than 3 in a Euros. I think
in their history.
For Italy, in their history.
But a clean sheet. You look at the camaraderie, the good team spirit. Their leading man up front's off the mark already. Everything looks good for Italy. It's just still want to be out of England and France.
Let's let Ben go. He's got.
Thanks, Ben.
It's not a quick pace, this race. It's not a sprint. It's a long haul. This one over a month. So it's the first long sprint. So let's stay grounded a bit.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Fair enough.
Well, we'll see. Cheers, Ben. We'll catch you later in the week.
See you soon.
Bye.
See ya.
Cheers. Bye.
All the cheese.
Oh, bless him. That's why he loves Wales so much as well, isn't it? Big Spurs fan.
Well, I imagine that in that type of scenario, I imagine the Italians to get quite vocal after a few beers, especially in the Box Pop vicinity. So yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a really good 6 weeks of football. Given the, it's been a bit of a boring 12, 18 months. Just looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to Wembley seeing packed out and fans really enjoying their football for a change. So yeah, it's been a good night to kick it off, and I think the football's only going to get better.
I think so. I think the games will be closer as well. I think Italy have shown how dominant they can be, even against a very solid Turkish side. So, I think we're in for a good tournament. I really believe that.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And like I said, there's a million markets on. So if you can find an angle, like I said, even if the market isn't up, you can message the likes of Skybet and Paddy Power and how many assists? Thomas Muller, most assists.
Muller's more of a goal scorer.
That's not even a market, but you can message one of the bookmakers and they will price that up for you. It wouldn't be for me. What would your bet the tournament be? You've been quite cagey on that.
Bet of the tournament.
Bet of the tournament. If there's a mythical £20 in front of you, you've got to run to a bookmaker. You get a £25 free bet.
Sweden to make the semi-finals. Can I do that?
Oh, I like that because they are my office sweepstakes, so I'll take that.
I mean, we can ask somebody to price it up for you.
Oh, but it's not like a market.
It's not. It should be in there somewhere in terms of to reach the semi-final. There you go.
There you go. What's Sweden?
And Sweden are 10-1.
There you go.
I thought they'd be shorter than that. Bigger than that, sorry.
Bigger. They actually have quite a nice path.
Who would they face hypothetically in the quarterfinals of second round?
I remember I put it all in the whole predictor.
And you were surprised yourself going,
they're
going quite far.
Yeah. I got them to face Turkey in the. Holland in the round of 16.
Wouldn't be a big surprise to beat
Turkey in the quarters.
Right.
And then go out in the semis.
Excellent. You mentioned that to reach the final 4. Italy, another team to have a sea of blue this afternoon. Italy, you can get 2-1 with Bet365 to reach the last 4, but the Irish short is 5-4 with Paddy Power. They're taking no chances. If you're fancying Wales to maybe reach the semi-finals, as they did in 2016, 18-1, which means again, if you put £10 on, you get nothing back.
Wales aren't reaching the semis this
Wales
time,
aren't the side they were 5 years ago.
No,
you think
how?
Sorry,
Polly.
I think that was Gareth at his peak. Probably then.
That was a miracle what Wales did.
Well, look, they are up next. Wales against Switzerland, Azerbaijan tomorrow in Baku. 2:00 kickoff. Very exciting.
Can we have a prediction, Polly?
I'm going to say Gareth Bale to score the first goal. And I'm going to say it's going to be 1-0.
1-0?
Yes.
I think it'll be a draw in that one. 1-1.
Draw 1-1.
1-1, unfortunately.
I think 1-1.
I think it's going to start slow, and I think Bale's just going to come out with a burst of energy. Yes.
Well, it could set the tone for how Bale's going to play this tournament in the first game.
What do you think?
I think it could be a share of the spoils as well. I think Wales are set up for a point in that game, knowing the fact that, again, the big game's Turkey on Wednesday, and then you play Italy, which could be a dead rubber for them. I do think Italy will win their first 2 games and then rest players, because it makes sense. They will still think that they have enough to beat Wales, making 9 changes to the team. No disrespect to the Welsh.
Let this be the weekend that we are surprised, and
definitely could be a weekend of surprises.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Fingers crossed. And you can listen to Polly cheering on Wales on Polly. What time is the radio show tomorrow?
1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 until 4 on Radio X. I will have a keen eye on the telly as well.
Wrong fingers, yeah.
Yes. No, it's been great. What an opening game. I mean, Italy's most successful game in the Euros to open up this long overdue tournament.
I could be driving into work at 1 o'clock, so
Well,
I'll be tuning in.
I'll
tune in.
Thanks, guys. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Fun.
Cheers for watching, and cheers, Frank, for putting up with us.
Cheers, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you on next Wednesday.
All right.